Chapter 1440. 1440 War in 14403. The incomparably prosperous imperial city of bloodshed had undergone 7,000 to 8,000 years of history. The power of the dynasty had caused this imperial city to not have experienced war for thousands of years. Powerful, harmonious. When it was past 7 o'clock in the evening, the sun had already set, and the entire imperial city entered a lively night. In the huge square in front of the imperial palace, many citizens of the imperial city of bloodshed were here to rest and have fun. It was a beautiful scene. Pa pa pa. At this moment, muffled and loud sounds suddenly came from within the imperial palace, causing everyone to be slightly stunned. Boom boom boom. When the main gate of the imperial palace opened, everyone's faces were filled with shock as they looked at the group of people walking out. The Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors were riding side by side on their dragon horses. They were all dressed in military attire as they rode towards the outside. Behind them there were many insightful emptiness realm experts. These experts were all familiar to the surrounding citizens. Other than the insightful emptiness realm experts from the Blood Flow Empire, there were also a group of kings and sect masters from the affiliated forces. At the very back, there were over 1,000 blood-armored guards wearing blood-red armor that covered their entire bodies. That's our emperor, the Blood Emperor. The few beside him are the great emperors. The former emperor, oh my god, what are the Blood Emperor and the others trying to do? 3 emperors? Don't we only have 2 in the Blood Flow Empire? Why is there another one? Is it the level 6 insightful void martial artist who has been hiding all this time? Oh my god, they are all dressed in military uniforms. Look, the Blood Emperor and the Emperor are all dressed in military uniforms. They're going on a war. What are they doing leading so many experts? Did something happen to the demonic beast clan? The Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors are all on the move. Has a war broken out? Everyone in the front of the palace widened their eyes and discussed in shock when they saw the Blood Emperor and the others coming out of the palace in military attire. Blood Emperor, according to the information we received, the Dragon Phoenix dynasty, the Bloodstream sect, and the Light Dragon dynasty are all at the Sky Sword sect. An elder reported to the Blood Emperor at the front. Lead the way. There was no expression on the Blood Emperor's face. Yes. The elder nodded and respectfully led them to the right. Oh, it's in that direction. The Blood Emperor and the others are not leaving the city. What is this? When everyone saw the Blood Emperor and the others heading to the right, they were slightly stunned. On the right, that was obviously not the direction to leave the city. That direction I remember now. The Heavenly Sword sect, Dragon Phoenix dynasty, and the others seem to be heading in that direction. The Blood Emperor is going to destroy the Dragon Phoenix dynasty and the others. A citizen suddenly exclaimed with his eyes wide open. Destroy the Dragon Phoenix dynasty, the Heavenly Sword sect, the Light Dragon dynasty, and the Bloodstream sect. Ah, the Blood Emperor is mighty. I knew it. No one dares to be arrogant in our Bloodstream dynasty. As long as he dares to be arrogant, we will destroy him. I thought our dynasty would bow down to them. Now it seems that the Blood Emperor is still domineering. A few days ago they could only be arrogant when the Blood Emperor was not here. Now that he is here, it is time for them to die. The Blood Emperor is mighty. Our Bloodstream dynasty is the strongest. Excited voices came from the surrounding areas. In the past few days, the things that came out from the Imperial Palace made the people of Blood Flow Empire feel aggrieved. Those 4 forces actually slapped the faces of their Blood Flow Empire. Now their doomsday had arrived. This caused the people of Blood Flow Empire to take a deep breath. Their eyes shone as they stared at the strongest team of their empire. In the Flowing Sea region we are the Emperor. No one can offend us. When Crown Prince Tang Shuwen heard the discussions of the people around him, he raised his head slightly. A proud expression appeared on his face. He shouted softly and his voice entered everyone's mind. Ah, it's true. The Blood Emperor and the others are really going to destroy the 4 forces of the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Sky Sword sect. The eyes of all the surrounding citizens lit up as they hurriedly followed behind. Very soon, the news of the Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors personally leading a group of insightful emptiness realm experts to kill the 4 forces of the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Sky Sword sect spread throughout the entire imperial city. When the people from the other dynasties and sects received the news, their faces revealed a shocked expression. In their opinion, the Blood Flow Empire would definitely lower their heads and compromise this time. However, they never expected that the Blood Flow Empire would actually go over and destroy them. This was simply too overbearing. They hurriedly walked towards the castle where the Heaven Sword sect was staying. When they arrived, they discovered that there were already tens of thousands of people gathered in front of the temporary castle where the Heaven Sword sect was staying. In front of the castle, the Blood Emperor and 3 emperors were standing at the front on their dragon horses. They stared at the castle in front of them with cold faces. 3 emperors. It turns out that the Blood Flow Empire has been hiding 1 emperor and 4 of them are at level 6 of the See-Through realm. It's more than enough to fight against the sect master and Wuxia of the Heaven Sword sect. There's a high chance of killing them. Hiss, why would the Blood Flow Empire choose to take action at this time? This is too overbearing. Hee, perhaps the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Heaven Sword sect didn't expect that the Blood Flow Empire would be so domineering. Even if they had 2 people at level 6 of the See-Through realm, they would still take action. Some of the experts from the Empire's sects looked from afar. Activate the formation. Don't let any of you go. Everyone around, retreat. Don't accidentally injure all of you. The Blood Emperor rode his dragon horse in front of the castle and shouted loudly. His gaze stared at the castle in front of him, and an icy light shot out from his eyes. Dragon Phoenix Empire, Sky Sword Sect, Blood Flow Sect, and Light Dragon Empire, the people from the 4 factions, come out and accept your death. Come out and face your death. The cold voice covered the entire castle. All the people of Bloodstream Empire retreated, staring at the castle. It's over, it's over. I didn't expect Bloodstream Empire to destroy us. I didn't expect them to have 3 6th level Profound Void Martial experts. How could it be? Why would they attack us at this time? At this moment, in the castle of the Heavenly Sword Sect, Hierarchy's forehead was covered in cold sweat. He stood there and said with a pale face. Before the Blood Emperor's voice could be heard, they had already learned of this matter. Unfortunately, it was already too late for them to escape. Even as a top sect in the Luhai region, facing such a situation made him feel a little flustered. The Blood Emperor of the Blood Flow Empire and the 3 emperors, who were dressed in military attire, had charged over directly. This was something that they had never expected. At the side, the king of the Guanglong Kingdom was also extremely embarrassed. Even his arms were trembling. His gaze was fixed on the sect leader of the Spirit Sword sect and Wuxia, waiting for them to speak. Get out. I want to see if they dare to fight in the Blood Flow Imperial City. Wuxia's eyes sparkled. He was very surprised that the Blood Emperor of the Blood Flow Empire had brought 3 emperors and a group of powerhouses to kill them. However, he was not afraid. Chapter 1441 1441 War 4. Come out and accept your death. Crown Prince Tang Shuwen stared at the castle and shouted loudly again. Accept your death. You people from the Sky Sword Sect, the Dragon Phoenix Dynasty, the Light Dragon Dynasty, and the Bloodstream Sect, come out and accept your death. Haha, how dare you be so arrogant in our Bloodstream Empire? Crawl out and accept your death. A bunch of trash, get out and kneel down and accept your death. As soon as the Crown Prince finished his words, the surrounding citizens shouted loudly towards the castle. In an instant, the sounds of mockery and abuse resounded in the surrounding sky. Everyone from the Blood Flow Empire, at least we are guests. I wonder what you are doing? At this moment, Wang Xian, Feng Wan, Sect Master Ling, and the rest slowly walked out from the position of the castle. Wang Xian glanced at the Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors at the front. Then he looked at the people around him and asked indifferently. When the leader of the Bloodstream sect and the king of the Kingdom of Light saw the experts around them, their expressions changed slightly. Their eyes were filled with fear. What are you doing? Of course I'm going to kill all of you. The Blood Emperor was riding on his dragon horse. He looked down at Wang Xian in his military uniform and said coldly. To be able to reach the 6th level of the Void Interpretation realm before the age of 30 is truly unparalleled in history. It's a pity that such a heaven's favorite is going to die in our Bloody Flow Imperial City today. An emperor at the side sized up Wang Xian and said slowly. Hee, don't speak too early. It's easy to slap your face. Wang Xian smiled and stared at them with his arms crossed. Ha! When the king of the Kingdom of Light Dragon and Sect Master Yi saw how calm Wang Xian was, their pale faces turned slightly better. They moved closer to Wang Xian. Is that the Supreme Heaven's Pride, the peerless genius at level 6 of the See-Through Void tier? That's him. His name is Wang Xian. He's not even 30 years old today. I have to say, his strength is simply heaven-defying. So what if he is heaven-defying? He will not live past today. This is the outcome of provoking our bloody Flow Empire. I really want to see a Heaven's Pride being killed like this. Ah. Around them, the citizens of the bloody Flow Empire said mockingly. Today, I will let the world know the outcome of disobeying our bloody Flow Empire. Our bloody Flow Empire announces that the Heaven Sword Sect, the Dragon Phoenix Empire, the Light Dragon Empire, and the Bloody Flow Sect will be sentenced to death. After killing all of you, the army of the Bloody Flow Empire will destroy all of your forces. Sitting on the dragon horse, the Blood Emperor announced with a cold expression. Blood Emperor, we are here to discuss the matter with the demonic beasts. The demonic beasts have not been resolved yet, and there is already an internal war? Sect Master Ling's expression changed slightly when he heard the Blood Emperor's words. He stared at them and said, the demonic beasts matter will be resolved by the Blood Flow Empire. However, if you dare to disobey us, you will die. The Blood Emperor looked at Sect Leader Ling and did not give him any explanation. He slowly raised the blood-red spear in his hand. What will happen to those who disobey our Blood Flow Empire? The Blood Emperor raised the spear and roared loudly. Die. An ice-cold shout sounded from behind him. It was the voice of the insightful Emptiness Realm experts filled with killing intent. As the voice sounded, the surrounding air seemed to freeze. Blood Emperor's domineering aura. Die. Die. Those who offend our Blood Flow Empire will be killed no matter how far they are. Die. When the surrounding people of the Blood Flow Empire saw the Blood Emperor's domineering judgment, their faces were filled with excitement as they shouted loudly from the side. Clang? Sect Leader Ling's expression changed slightly. A golden long sword directly appeared in his hand as he stared solemnly at the Blood Emperor. If you fight in your Blood Flow Imperial City, your entire Imperial City will turn into nothingness. Hee, do you think that we are not prepared? I don't like to talk too much with a person who is about to die, even if you are experts of the 6th level of the Profound Void tier. Remember, don't provoke our Blood Flow Imperial City in your next life. Wang? As the Blood Emperor spoke, he directly rose into the air, floating in the air for 100 meters. Formation rise. An emperor lightly shouted. Buzz buzz buzz. A slight trembling sound was heard. A water-blue formation covered an area of more than 1,000 meters around the castle. The formation of the 7th level of the Void Interpretation stage was originally prepared to deal with the demonic beasts. Congratulations, you guys have used it on yourselves. The Blood Emperor said to Wang Xian and the rest with a smile on his face. This formation was bought by him through the relationship between the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Saint Item Forging Workshop. It was originally used to defend against the Demon Beast clan, but now it was put to good use. What? A level 7 Insightful Void Array formation? You actually obtained a level 7 Insightful Void Array formation. The Light Dragon King's expression changed greatly. His gaze swept across the surrounding water-blue rain shield, and his expression was extremely unsightly. Boom. A black skull scepter appeared in Sect Master Yi's hand from a position to the side, and he directly attacked towards the sky. However, his attack didn't even cause a ripple when it landed on the array. Don't waste your time. Today, I want everyone to see what will happen to the enemies of the Blood Flow Empire. The Blood Emperor had a mocking expression on his face as he slowly moved forward. The array enveloped Wang Xian and the rest. Similarly, the Blood Emperor, 3 Emperors, and nearly 300 insightful Emptiness Realm powerhouses were also inside the array. This force could easily destroy Sect Leader Wang Xian and the 50 to 60 insightful Void Martial Artists of Feng Yuan. Seeing the Blood Emperor move, more than 300 insightful Void Martial Artists immediately took out their weapons. In this slightly crowded area, it was difficult for Wang Xian and the rest to resist. Kill them and tear them into pieces. Crown Prince Tang Xuewen roared. Boom, boom, boom. Waves of energy instantly erupted within the formation. The Blood Emperor and the 3 Emperors moved the weapons in their hands. The battle was about to start. At this moment, even Sect Leader Ling's expression was extremely ugly when facing the experts from the Blood Flow Empire. It was a disaster. The Blood Flow Empire is invincible. Kill them. Around them, the people from the Blood Flow Empire roared with excitement. Tiske, don't be so excited. Wang Xian looked at the people of Blood Flow Empire who were about to make a move, as well as sect leader Ling and the others who were nervous. He smiled faintly and swept his gaze across the Blood Emperor and the 3 Blood Emperors. Blood Emperor, do you think I'm not prepared? He said in a relaxed manner. Oh? The Blood Emperor frowned slightly when he saw how calm Wang Xian was. Haha, ready? Wang Xian, Supreme Heaven's Pride expert, don't worry. I have made preparations for you too. After you die, I will hang your head on the Heaven's Pride stage of the demi-human cemetery. Ah. In front of the group of insightful void martial artists, Crown Prince Tang Shuwen roared with laughter. Your Highness Crown Prince, let us kick his head like a rubber ball. A young man in the surroundings shouted with laughter. I permit you to provoke our blood flow empire. I don't care if you are a peerless heaven's favorite or a monster from ancient times. All of you must die. Tang Shuwen shouted loudly. When Wang Xian heard their words, his expression turned cold. Kill. I want to see if you can kill us or if we can kill all of you in the blood flow imperial city first. He roared and gave an order. Arrogant. Your dog head will be on my feet later. Outside, when the young man who shouted saw Wang Xian giving the order to fight against the Blood Emperor and the other powerhouses of the Blood Flow Empire, a look of disdain appeared on the young man's face. However, before he could finish his sentence, he seemed to have seen his own body. A body that was separated from his head. His eyes widened in disbelief. Even before he died, he still did not understand why he had been killed. What followed was a scream that he would never be able to hear. The scream came from around him. Ao Yao led a group of strange demons and moved. Chapter 1442. 1442 left. When the experts of the Blood Flow Empire were about to make a move inside the array formation, screams and endless screams came from the surrounding areas. The screams that suddenly rang out stunned the Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors inside the array formation. What's going on? Who did it? Who did it? Thousands of people died. Oh my God, I don't see anyone who did it. Don't kill me, don't kill me. In just 2 seconds, the streets of the Bloody Dynasty became chaotic. The tens of thousands of people who gathered around were terrified by the scene. Thousands of people fell to the ground. They widened their eyes and didn't know how they died. Even the surrounding people did not see how these people were killed. The sudden death of 1,000 people caused everyone's faces to reveal terror. What? The Blood Emperor was instantly stunned, his eyes shooting out terrifying rays of light. All the surrounding experts of the Blood Flow Empire also frowned, their faces full of shock as they looked outside the array formation. All 4 factions are under our surveillance. Don't tell me they have helpers? Crown Prince Tang Shuwen stared at the spot on the left with a gloomy face. His gaze swept across the thousands of citizens of the Blood Flow Empire who were lying on the ground. The expressions of the other factions from the other empires around them changed slightly as well. They took a deep breath. These 4 factions were going to completely go against the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Blood Emperor, this is only the beginning. Wang Xian's gaze swept outside as a faint smile appeared on his face. But just as he finished his sentence, a special fog shrouded the area below. What is this? What is that fog? Damn it, let's find the enemy. When a stream of fog enveloped the group of people, their faces revealed a look of fear as they shouted loudly. However, they were only given 1 second. Before anyone had the time to dodge, the fog enveloped the group of people. The moment the fog descended, death was approaching. The group of people who were shouting arrogantly that they wanted to kill Wang Xian and the rest fell to the ground and lost their life force. This time there were at least 4,000 to 5,000 people. Run. When the 4,000 to 5,000 people were killed by the poison, the rest of the people from the Bloodshed Empire panicked and fled into the distance. Boom. However, the moment they fled for their lives, the bright crosses that covered 1,000 meters in the sky attacked the group of people. This was the imperial city of the Blood Flow Empire, and the surroundings of the imperial palace. It was the place with the densest number of people, and when the 7 to 8 bright crosses landed, all of them were instantly killed. The beautiful castle was reduced to rubble under the attack. Destruction. If a bunch of Type 3 and Type 4 void interpretation experts wanted to destroy a city, it would be too easy. If a 6th level void interpretation expert was added, the Blood Flow Imperial City would also be reduced to ruins. Kill them for me, go immediately. The Blood Emperor's expression was slightly malevolent. He did not expect that there were many void interpretation experts hiding around him. Was this Blood Flow Empire's supervisory department a waste? He stared at the people from the other dynasties and sects around him and ordered loudly. It's the Blood Emperor. We will definitely stop this group of murderers and protect the safety of the Blood Flow Imperial City. The kings and sect leaders of several dynasties gritted their teeth as they looked at the Blood Emperor staring at them. Vile spawn of the four great factions. You actually dare to kill innocents in the Blood Flow Imperial City. Get out here. A king held a scepter in his hand as he shouted with an icy expression. Since you dare to be a lackey of the Blood Flow Empire, then die. At this moment, a cold voice rang out in the air. Following that, a black and white figure directly attacked the king. A black and white light flashed and instantly penetrated the body of the king. Cough cough, how is this possible? The king, who was dressed in luxurious clothes, widened his eyes as he looked at his chest in disbelief. Your Majesty. Your Majesty. In the surroundings, a few experts of the dynasty looked at their king in shock, looking at the huge hole in his chest. Hiss, is this the 5th or 6th level of the void interpretation? A shocked shout came out from the mouth of an expert of the dynasty. Why don't we try and find out? In the sky, Ao Yao was enveloped by black and white light. He slowly raised his arms, one half bright and half dark. His left arm was like a scythe and his right arm was like a dagger. He was like the god of death. The entire shadow was more than 2,000 meters tall, and it was emitting a murderous aura that made people tremble. 6th level of the Profound Void tier. This aura is definitely of the 6th level of the Profound Void tier. A king of a dynasty cried out involuntarily. All the people in the surroundings were dumbfounded. If the assassination of the strange demon group had made them feel fear, it had now become despair. Their Blood Emperor and 3 emperors had trapped 2 level 6 insightful Void Realm experts in the formation, but they had not expected that there was another level 6 insightful Void Realm expert outside. There were 3 in total, 3 level 6 insightful Void Realm experts against 4 level 6 insightful Void Realm experts in the Imperial City. Although they were at a disadvantage, it was not impossible for them to fight. Especially now, if the Blood Emperor and the others really attacked, it was completely imaginable that this level 6 insightful Void Realm expert would massacre the entire Bloody Flow Imperial City. With this kind of destructive power, 1/10 of the Imperial City could be destroyed in a minute. Rank 6 Insightful Void Martial Artist and 1 Rank 6 Insightful Void Martial Artist. Inside the array formation, the Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors floated in the air with extremely ugly expressions. They looked at Ao Yao in the sky outside, and their bodies trembled slightly. There were 3 of them, and the other side actually had 3 Rank 6 Insightful Void Martial Artists. Their Blood Flow Empire had 7 to 8,000 years of foundation, and they controlled the most enormous resources in the Flowing Sea region. Now they only had 4 level 6 Profound Void Martial experts. Yet the other party actually had 3 especially this level 6 Profound Void Martial expert outside. If they attacked and killed the 2 Profound Void Martial experts inside the array with their strength, they would have a great confidence, but to kill 2 experts of the same level, they would need at least 10 minutes. Or even more. In this time, the entire Imperial City would be in ruins. Tens of thousands of foundations would be destroyed in an instant. They could not bear such a loss. I didn't expect the Dragon Phoenix dynasty to hide a level 6 insightful emptiness realm expert. My god, their strength. The king of the Light Dragon Kingdom and hierarchy revealed excited expressions when they saw Ao Yao suddenly appear. A feeling of having survived a calamity surged into their hearts. Blood Emperor, open the formation. We can't play with you anymore. Ah. Wang Xian looked at the Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors in the sky and laughed out loud. His face was filled with mockery. Chapter 1443. 1443 collected some interest before he left. You. Upon hearing Wang Xian's teasing words, Crown Prince Tang Shuwen pointed at him with a sullen face. He was extremely furious. The Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors stared at Wang Xian with gloomy expressions. Their breathing was a little hurried. It was a blatant taunt and a blatant provocation. This was the first time someone dared to taunt them like this in the Flowing Sea region. However, they had no other way. Hiss this. In the surrounding area, the people who had arrogantly shouted that they wanted to destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire's Sky Sword sect and the others. The people who had arrogantly shouted that those who dared to offend my blood flow empire would die were now filled with fear. They looked at the shadow floating in the sky, the energy behind it that was more than 2,000 meters tall. It was as if there was a sharp dagger placed in front of his neck, ready to deal a fatal blow to them at any moment. They were afraid. They would never have imagined this scene. The dynasty that they thought was invincible and tyrannical was actually being mocked by others. I'll give you 10 seconds to open the formation. Otherwise I'll start killing. As long as I make a move, I'm afraid that the entire bloody flow imperial city won't be enough for me to kill. Ao Yao's extremely cold voice came from the sky. The undisguised threat entered everyone's ears. Gulp. The surrounding citizens, whose faces were filled with fear, hurriedly looked at the Blood Emperor and the other experts within the array. Their eyes were filled with pleading. They didn't want to die. All right. The Blood Emperor held the blood-red spear in his hand tightly. Gritting his teeth, he stared at Ao Yao and growled, "Deactivate the formation." Bus. At the back, 2 insightful void stage powerhouses immediately deactivated the formation. Get out of our bloody flow imperial city. The Blood Emperor suppressed his crazy killing intent and shouted at Wang Xian and the rest. You guys leave first. Wang Xian smiled and looked at Feng Yuan and the rest. Xiao Xian, be careful. Feng Yuan looked at him and said with a smile. Don't worry. The Bloodshed Empire only has 4 6th level void interpretation. It's impossible to kill us. Wang Xian said confidently to Feng Yuan. Just as he said, even if Wang Xian, Ao Yao and sect leader Ling couldn't defeat the Bloodshed Empire, they wouldn't be killed. Okay. Feng Yuan nodded and looked at the King of the Kingdom of Light Dragon and sect leader Yi. Thank you, Lord Wang Xian. The Kingdom of Light Dragon is the closest to here. Let's return to the Kingdom of Light Dragon first. The King of the Kingdom of Light Dragon took a deep breath and bowed to Wang Xian in gratitude. Today, if Wang Xian did not hide a powerhouse at level 6 of the see-through void tier, they would have died without a doubt. Even the entire Guanglong Empire would be destroyed. Compared to Wang Xian killing one of his unfilial sons back then, compared to the favor he owed him this time, it could be completely cancelled out. Wang Xian waved his hand. Feng Yuan and the rest looked at the Blood Emperor and the rest. They walked out with smiles on their faces. The group of them left directly under the gaze of everyone in the imperial city of Bloodshed. Wang Xian stood there and watched Feng Yuan and the rest disappear quickly with a smile on his face. I really don't understand what benefits your blood flow empire will get if they fall out with us. Sect Master Ling looked at the Blood Emperor and the rest and shook his head slowly. We, the Blood Flow Empire, will remember today's humiliation. We will definitely exterminate all of you in the future. The Blood Emperor swore with an extremely cold expression. If you don't kill us this time, it will be even harder to kill us in the future. Sect leader Ling's expression turned cold as well. Remember, your Blood Flow Empire will not be able to control the sky in this flowing sea region in the future. Scram. There will be plenty of time in the future. I will make you regret it. The Blood Emperor raised his long spear and shouted coldly. Sect leader Ling looked at Feng Yuan and the rest who had already disappeared. He exchanged a glance with Wang Xian. Let's go. Wang Xian looked at Ao Jian and said to him. Yes. Ao Jian nodded his head. With a move of his body, he disappeared into the void. The energy behind him also disappeared. After exchanging a glance with sect leader Ling, the two of them flew out directly. Little brother Wang Xian, why did you suddenly stop? When the two of them flew out of the city, sect leader Ling looked at Wang Xian who had suddenly stopped and looked at him in puzzlement. Since they dared to attack us, we naturally have to collect some interest before we return. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly and turned around to look at the glorious city of the Blood Flow Empire. Ha! Sect leader Ling revealed an astonished expression. He suddenly sensed the surroundings and his eyes flickered. Damn it! When they saw Wang Xian and the rest leaving, the Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors shook the weapons in their hands with an awkward expression. The 4 of them had dark expressions on their faces as they swept their gaze across the destroyed buildings and the 5,000 to 6,000 people who had died. They took a deep breath. Their bodies moved and flew directly towards the imperial palace. Below them, Crown Prince Tang Shuwen had a dark expression on his face. He turned around and walked towards the imperial palace with a face full of anger. Behind him, the group of insightful void martial artists looked at each other in dismay. No one had expected that the incomparably domineering Blood Flow Empire would actually suffer a huge setback here. No one had expected that the four powers of the Dragon Phoenix Empire's Sky Sword sect would be so terrifying. The situation in the Flowing Sea region would change in the future. The Blood Flow Empire citizens on both sides no longer had the arrogance they had before. They looked at the Crown Prince who walked back to the palace in anger and sighed helplessly. Today the Blood Flow Empire had lost. Dong dong dong. At this moment, the Crown Prince of Bloody Dynasty who was walking towards the palace suddenly froze. Following that, the sound of a strange rubber ball hitting the ground could be heard. When some of the people who were watching the Crown Prince saw the scene in front of them, they felt their breathing stop. They widened their eyes and their bodies started to tremble violently. Heads rolled down. Your Highness the Crown Prince. Your Highness the Crown Prince. A series of terrified voices suddenly sounded, and even more people scanned their surroundings vigilantly. Dead, Their Highness the Crown Prince had actually been killed directly. Without the slightest sign, no one noticed the assassin. It must be that black and white 6th-level void interpretation expert just now, it must be him. One of the kings felt a chill on his back, as if a hand was pressing down on his neck as he muttered in fear. A rank 5 void interpretation expert had been silently killed. If they had such an enemy they would not be able to sleep or eat in peace. Boom. Right at this moment, a terrifying voice carrying boundless killing intent flew out from the palace. When he saw his son's corpse in front of the Imperial Palace, his eyes were blood red. Dragon Phoenix Dynasty, Sky Sword Sect, Light Dragon Dynasty and Bloodstream Sect, just you wait. I, the Blood Emperor, will destroy you. A crazy roar came out of the Blood Emperor's mouth and resounded throughout the entire Bloodstream Imperial City. Everyone was shocked. Chapter 1444. 1444 was three-legged. This, little brother Wuxia, what have you done? Sect Master Ling of the Heavenly Sword Sect was stunned when he heard the Blood Emperor's furious voice coming from the Imperial City of Blood Flow. Blood Flow Empire is so arrogant. Naturally we can't just leave like this. Of course we have to take some interest and kill their crown prince. Wuxia smiled and said to Sect Leader Ling. What? Sect Leader Ling widened his eyes and shook his head slowly. Thank you, Brother Wuxia, for today. If it weren't for the presence of a powerhouse at level 6 of the see-through void tier, we would be in trouble. You don't have to be so polite. After all, you guys are now allies with the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. He shook his head. This time the four of us have completely offended the Blood Flow Empire. In the future we will be enemies. We need to talk about the next few things. Sect Leader Ling's eyes flickered as he spoke. The two of them flew towards the Light Dragon Empire. This matter had exceeded the expectations of the four of them. Originally they only wanted to have a say and not let others treat them as chess pieces. They did not expect the Blood Flow Empire to directly kill them. Now that they had fallen out with the Blood Flow Empire, they could only form an alliance to the end, and they had to form a deeper alliance. Only then could they deal with the Blood Flow Empire's next revenge. The two quickly flew towards the Light Dragon Empire's location. Halfway there they met Feng Wan and the others. Lord Wang, Sect Leader Ling is here. This time we have to discuss how to deal with the Blood Flow Empire. Sect Leader Yi and the King of the Radiant Dragon Kingdom said with some bitterness. They didn't expect things to turn out this way. Alright, with the four of us joining forces, we can completely contend with the Blood Flow Empire. Sect Leader Ling nodded. After arriving at the Radiant Dragon Empire, Feng Wan and Sect Leader Yi, the King of the Radiant Dragon Kingdom, discussed the matter of forming an alliance. Wuxia did not participate. He found Long Xiaotian and strolled around the Light Dragon King city together. 2 days later, news that shook the entire Luhai region spread out. The Dragon Phoenix Dynasty, Heaven Sword Sect, Bloodstream Sect, and Light Dragon Dynasty formed the Luhuang Alliance. It was an alliance formed by 4 top forces. Furthermore, there were more than 10 forces that joined the Luhuang Alliance. These dozen or so forces were all affiliated forces of the Light Dragon Dynasty, the Sky Sword Sect, and the Bloodstream Sect. As top-tier forces in the past, they also had affiliated forces. Although there weren't many, there were more than a dozen of them in total. And they weren't weak either. The moment this news was released, it shook the entire Luhai region. This was a colossus that might be comparable to the Bloodstream Empire. However, 3 days later, another piece of news that shook the entire Luhai region came. The Demon Beast clan had already decided to establish the Demon Beast Empire. Furthermore, the Demon Beast clan had decided to sign a peace treaty with humans to live and develop together. In a week's time, the Demon Beast Empire establishment ceremony would be held. At that time, all the factions in the Luhai region would be invited to attend the ceremony. When this news came out, it shocked everyone even more. The appearance of this news also made all the factions think about why the Bloodflow Empire dared to directly go against the Dragon Phoenix Empire's Sky Sword sect 3 days ago. It was probably because they had already obtained the Demon Beast tribe and wanted to sign a peace treaty with the humans. Otherwise, they wouldn't have directly started an internal conflict during this period of time. The establishment of the Demon Beast Empire, the establishment of the Flowing Emperor Alliance, and the former Flowing Sea region's Emperor's Blood Flow region. In an instant, the entire Flowing Sea region was divided into 3 top-tier powers. From then on, 3 powers stood together. The strength of the Demon Beast Imperial clan might be the strongest, followed by the Flowing Blood Empire. However, the Flowing Emperor Alliance couldn't be underestimated. 3 days ago, the level 6 insightful Void Realm expert who was emitting black and white energy and hadn't shown himself had easily killed the Crown Prince in front of the Flowing Blood Palace. This assassination technique made everyone extremely fearful. Even the Blood Flow Empire was extremely fearful when faced with an expert who was hidden in the void and ready to launch a fatal attack at any time. In the following Flowing Sea region, it might create a 3-legged situation. The kings and sect masters of some dynasties muttered. It might be chaos or peace, but it was hard to say. Chief executives, how is the situation with the Demon Beast clan? At this moment, in the Imperial Palace of the Bloodshed Empire. Ever since the incident 3 days ago, the entire Bloodshed Imperial City had been on high alert. But even so, everyone was on tenterhooks. In a side room in the main hall of the Imperial Palace, the Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors were sitting inside. When they saw the 3 old men walking in, they immediately stood up. They looked over with somewhat embarrassed expressions. Haha, everyone, the Demon Beast clan has been settled. In a week's time at the Demon Beast Dynasty's grand ceremony, they will sign a peace treaty with the Blood Flow Dynasty. In the future, there will definitely not be a war between the 2 sides. The old man from the Life and Death Pill Workshop said with a face full of laughter. Then on the side of the Flowing Emperor Alliance. An emperor hurriedly asked with a frown. They signed a peace treaty with you, but it doesn't include the other party. When the time comes. The old man of the Holy Item Forging Workshop stroked his beard and smiled with his eyes slightly narrowed. They are willing to take action. A bright light appeared in the Blood Emperor's eyes. We paid a price, so of course they are willing. The 2 old men of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop smiled and nodded. They glanced at them and said, this time there should be no mistakes. No mistakes. As long as they dare to make a move, there will be no mistakes. When the time comes, all the treasures of the so-called Lu Huang Alliance will be 80% yours and 20% ours. The Blood Emperor gritted his teeth and said firmly. All right. The 3 elders laughed out loud. 7 days later, the so-called Lu Huang Alliance would become a joke and a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Wang Xian, Ling Xiaoyin, and that powerhouse at level 6 of the Void Interpretation stage, just you wait. The Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors looked at each other. Their eyes were filled with endless coldness. When they learned that the Flowing Emperor Alliance had been established, they wanted nothing more than to destroy it. However, when they thought of that terrifying assassin powerhouse, they held it in. Once they made a move, that assassin powerhouse would cause the entire Flowing Emperor dynasty to fall into panic. Before they had absolute power, they couldn't make a move. However, it was extremely difficult to have absolute power. There was only one way. Unite with the Demon Beast clan. Blood Flow Emperor Alliance, I want to use the blood of billions of you to pay tribute to my son. I want to throw all of your flesh and blood to those beasts of the Demon Beast clan. I want you to be crushed to pieces. 7 days later, I'll see you in the Human Demon Graveyard. There can only be one emperor in the Flowing Sea region. The Blood Emperor stood there and laughed sinisterly. He waved his arm and cups of immortal nectar flew directly into everyone's hands. Haha. The 7 people raised their wine cups and laughed loudly. Chapter 1445. 1445 Human Demon Graveyard. News from the Demon Beast clan. 7 days later, They invited all the forces in the Luhai region to attend the ceremony in the Human Demon Graveyard. They want to live in peace with US humans. What should we do? In the Flaming Sun City of the Dragon Phoenix Dynasty, this place had become the temporary base of the Lu Huang Alliance. This was the center of the Lu Huang Alliance's forces. In a circular hall, Feng Wan, Sect Leader Ling, Sect Leader Yi, and the King of the Light Dragon Kingdom sat at a round table. Around them there were more than 10 middle-aged and old men surrounding them. As the King of the Light Dragon Kingdom spoke, his gaze swept over Sect Leader Ling and Feng Wan. Although the current Flowing Emperor Alliance was dominated by the four of them, the true core still depended on the Dragon Phoenix Dynasty and the Sky Sword Sect. The Demon Beast clan is holding a ceremony to establish the Demon Beast Dynasty in the Human Demon Graveyard. Of course we have to go there. According to the information I got, once the Demon Beast Dynasty is established, they will have 2,000 to 3,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. The Level 6 insightful Emptiness Realm experts far surpass us and the Bloody Flow Dynasty. They will become the most powerful force in the Luhai area. Moreover, the Demon Beast clan has signed a peace treaty with US humans. We have to participate in this. Feng Wan sat there and said slowly with a twinkle in her eyes. Okay. Sect Leader Ling nodded slowly from the side. Dragon and Phoenix Queen, how many people do we have to send over? We are so nervous with the Blood Flow Empire now. A king of the empire looked at Feng Wan and asked. I'll call Wang Xian and ask him to make preparations. If we send half of our forces, we don't have to worry about the Bloodshed Empire. During this period, the Bloodshed Empire will not start a dispute with us. In fact, for the next few years or even longer, they will not attack us unless they are absolutely confident. So you don't have to worry and you don't have to be afraid of the Bloodshed Empire. Feng Wan's gaze swept across the members of the Flowing Emperor Alliance as she said calmly. What the Dragon and Phoenix Queen said makes sense. No matter what, they absolutely won't make a move unless they have absolute confidence. With that lord around, they won't dare to make any sneak attacks. Sect Leader Ling and the others slowly nodded their heads. In a short span of 3 days, Feng Wan was basically the main focus of all their matters. Sect Leader Ling was very strong, but he was not able to control the overall situation. This was a matter of strategy and vision. Feng Wan was able to solve everything quickly and give the best answer. They even felt that they were standing beside the Dragon and Phoenix Queen and had the illusion of obeying the monarch's orders. After a few times, the others basically did not express their opinions. After Feng Wan said it, they pondered for a while and could not find any problems. Basically they followed this plan. Another reason was that they also knew that the monstrous heaven's favorite, Wang Xian, and another level 6 see-through void martial artist, who had been hiding all this while, did not belong to the Lu Huang Alliance and had their own forces. However, the Queen of Dragons and Phoenixes was able to get Wang Xian to make a move. With their powerful strength and unparalleled control, they were led by Feng Wan. Everyone get ready. We will set off in 3 days. Yes. As Feng Wan spoke, everyone replied. We will go together. When Feng Wan came to tell Wang Xian about this matter, he was looking at the information in the communication stone plate and said with a smile on his face. Yes, the establishment of the Demon Beast Empire. I wonder what kind of structure it is. Is it a 3-way tripod or? Feng Wan sat opposite Wang Xian and looked at him. You will know when the time comes. Wang Xian smiled and placed the communication stone plate into his interspatial ring. A mysterious smile appeared on his face. Is there any good news? Feng Wan looked at him and recalled some information that Wang Xian had revealed in the past. She asked curiously. There isn't any good news yet. Wang Xian shook his head and didn't say anything else. Instead, he leisurely poured a cup of water. He placed the dried tea leaves into the water. The tea leaves immediately spread out as though they had just been picked. The green tea leaves emitted the fragrance of the tea. Just like his original plan, it would be time for him to reap the rewards very soon. When that time came, the entire Luhai region would be his world. He smiled and took a sip of the tea gently. Feng Wan rolled her eyes at Wang Xian when she saw that he didn't say anything. After a brief exchange with him, she left to settle some matters. Recently, regardless of whether it was the Lu Huang Alliance or the Heaven's Pride competition in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, she had been very busy. She wasn't as carefree as Wang Xian. 3 days passed very quickly. In the early morning, more than 500 insightful void martial artists from the dozen factions of the Lu Huang Alliance gathered outside Flaming Sun City. Apart from insightful emptiness realm experts, there were also about 2,000 half-step insightful emptiness realm experts. This was half of the Flowing Emperor Alliance's strength. Set off. Feng Yuan glanced at everyone and ordered with a smile on her face. Let's go to the human monster graveyard. A king shouted softly and the group flew into the sky, heading toward the human monster graveyard. Flaming Sun City was only a few 100,000 kilometers away from the human monster graveyard. With their speed they would be able to arrive within 3 days. This speed was not slow. Even if they circled around the Earth, it would only be 40,000 kilometers long. More than a year ago this was the place where Lord Wuxia was famous. The nameless sword demon shook the cemetery of the humans and demons. One of the kings from the Lu Huang Alliance looked at Wuxia and said with a smile. That's right. Nowadays, the reputation of the nameless sword demon is still spreading in the cemetery of the humans and demons. Even the demonic beasts have to be respectful when they meet Lord Wuxia. Voices of conversation could be heard. Wuxia smiled from the front and looked ahead. After 3 days they had entered the territory of the demi-human cemetery. The group of people was majestic. There were more than 500 insightful emptiness realm experts. This formation caused a huge commotion when they entered the demi-human cemetery. People from the Lu Huang Alliance have arrived. As expected of one of the 3 major factions in the Flowing Sea region. Over 500 insightful void realm experts have arrived. Nameless Sword Demon has also arrived. Who would have thought that he, who isn't even 30 years old, would have the strength of a level 6 insightful void realm expert? A top-tier expert from one of the 3 major factions? When they arrived at the human gathering place in the human demon graveyard, the humans there looked over at them with astonished expressions. This was a power that could fight against the Blood Flow Empire. Look to the right. That's the Blood Emperor flag. The experts from the Blood Flow Empire have arrived. At this moment, exclamations sounded from below. Everyone looked to the right and saw the experts from the Blood Flow Empire flying over. The 2 forces had arrived. Chapter 1446. 1446 Demon Beast Dynasty's Grand Ceremony. A blood-red flag that was more than 10 meters long was floating in the sky. At the very front, the Blood Emperor and 3 emperors were riding on dragon horses, flying in this direction with a dignified look on their faces. Behind them, there were 600 to 700 insightful Void Realm experts following them. And behind these 600 to 700 insightful Void Realm experts, there were battle teams wearing different armors. Uniform blood-red armor, uniform black armor. Some rode on uniform fierce beasts, emitting a powerful murderous aura. This was the Blood Flow Empire's famous battle division, and also the Blood Flow Empire's 7,000 to 8,000 years of foundation. Each battle division possessed terrifying strength. Under the leadership of an insightful void martial artist, they could easily break through one city after another. In terms of overall strength, the Blood Flow Empire is still slightly stronger than the Flowing Emperor Alliance. That's only natural. After all, they are the overlords of the human race in the Flowing Sea region, the only emperor in the past. When some people saw the Blood Flow Empire's formation, their faces revealed expressions of astonishment. It's the Blood Flow Empire. The members of the Flowing Emperor Alliance also saw the Blood Flow Empire on the right. Sect leader Ling slightly narrowed his eyes and swept his gaze over. A faction formed by a bunch of dead fish and rotten prawns will be destroyed soon. The people from the Flowing Blood Empire also saw Wuxia, Feng Yuan and the rest. An emperor's eyes flashed with killing intent as he shouted coldly. However, all of you have to admit that we, as a faction, can fight against you. We will make it so that you won't be able to sleep well. When Chief Yi heard the words of the emperor, his face turned cold as he replied directly. Before long I will kill all of you. I will make your alliance turn into a river of blood and a mountain of corpses. The Blood Emperor's eyes were filled with a crazed killing intent. He stared at Wuxia and spoke in a cold tone. You have a glib tongue. We shall see step by step. When Feng Yuan heard that the Blood Emperor wanted to destroy their factions and all their citizens, her face turned cold as she spoke. After she finished speaking, she did not pay any more attention and flew towards the island of the Light Dragon Dynasty in the demi-human graveyard. This step will be very fast. The Blood Emperor smiled malevolently and flew towards the direction of the Blood Flow Empire. Hiss, they are competing against each other. The two factions have already reached the point where they cannot tolerate each other. One day they will erupt. A war is inevitable, but from what I see, it will take at least a few decades or even a few hundred years. Do you think we should join one of the factions now? In the future, the Flowing Sea region will definitely be controlled by these two factions. The other factions will only be able to survive in the cracks. Some of the dynasty sects that had rushed over saw this scene and discussed in low voices. Currently, the humans in the Flowing Sea region and nearly 20 dynasties and sects were neutral. They didn't join the Flowing Emperor Alliance, nor did they belong to the Blood Flow Empire. Some looked at the situation of the two factions, while others wanted to maintain the center and not participate in their battle. Some were just waiting for the situation to change. After tomorrow, in the entire Flowing Sea region, the humans will only have the Blood Flow Empire. When the Blood Emperor heard some discussions, he swept his gaze down and revealed a smile. Perhaps this time, it wasn't a bad thing for the Blood Flow Empire. Your Majesty, at the Heaven's Pride stage in the demi-human graveyard, the monster race has already set up the venue. One afternoon, the monster race empire will be established and the ceremony will be held. At that time, the monster race will say that their king of the monster race will board the throne and become the first king of the monster race in the Flowing Sea region. At the same time, they will sign a peace treaty with the human race. The demon beasts have found the world's third trading company, the Life and Death Pill Workshop, and the Holy Item Forging Workshop to testify. When Wang Xian, Feng Wan, and the rest arrived at the island of the Guanglong Empire, an elder walked over and reported the information here. Are all the factions in the Luhai region here? The king of the Guanglong Empire asked. All of them are here. No faction will miss such a grand event. The old man reported. Yes. The king of the Kingdom of Light Dragon nodded. He looked at Wang Xian and the rest and said, let's rest for a day first. We will head over the day after tomorrow. All right. Everyone nodded and settled down on the island of the Kingdom of Light Dragon. As time passed, the human-demon graveyard became more and more lively. In the past 2 days, the number of people in the human-demon graveyard had more than doubled. With the establishment of the Demon Beast Empire and the gathering of all the factions, the originally bustling place became even more bustling. In every restaurant and tea house, there were discussions about the establishment of the Demon Beast Empire, the Blood Flow Empire, and the Flowing Emperor Alliance. This made many people certain that after this, the situation of the three factions could be completely formed. Many people analyzed the strength of the three factions, their future possibilities and so on. We, the Demon Beast Empire, have established and invited the human race to participate in the Grand Hall. We, the Demon Beast Empire, have established and invited the human race to participate in the Grand Hall. A day later, when the sky lit up, voices suddenly resounded throughout the entire sky. The voices were like thunder, deafening, and came from far, far away. Is it about to begin? The Demon Beast Clan's Level 6 Insightful Void Realm expert personally sent a voice invitation. Go, let's hurry over. This is a historic moment. The Demon Beasts established their dynasty and signed a peace treaty with the humans. Let's hurry over. In the human-demon graveyard, the gazes of the humans turned towards the human-demon graveyard, and they immediately rushed over. The mercenary groups, the forces of the dynasties and sections. Boom. Not long after the sound ended, on the island of the Bloodshed Empire, a group of experts flew towards the Heaven's Pride stage with a terrifying aura. There are so many people. Everyone from the Lu Huang Alliance naturally rushed towards the Heaven's Pride stage. Wang Xian looked around and realized that there were at least tens of millions of humans in the sky. What kind of concept was this? All that could be seen at a glance were human heads. Those with poor eyesight could not see the end. Each and every powerful force was exceptionally eye-catching in the crowd. The Lu Huang Alliance flew forward quickly. Everyone in the surroundings hurriedly made way for them. When they arrived at the front of the Heaven's Pride stage, they saw a huge empty space beside the Heaven's Pride stage. There was a strange arena placed there. Hundreds of statues of demon beasts were standing in the center. Each of the demon beast statues was 100 meters in size. They were lifelike. The statues formed a circle. In the center of the statue there was a huge high stage. On the high stage there was a dragon chair that was 10 meters in size. The dragon chair looked extremely domineering. A huge flag was placed next to the dragon chair. The blood-red demon beast flag was dozens of meters in size. It was floating in the air around 500 meters away. The entire area was covered with blood-red plants. On the right side, there were already hundreds of thousands of demon beasts and all kinds of demon beast races. They sat on the stone chairs and there were more than 100 demon beast races. At the front was their king. Chapter 1447. 1447. You are not qualified to sign it. Welcome human experts, please take your seats. The ceremony arranged by the Demon Beast clan was in a circular shape and was divided into 2 seats. In the front area there were demon beasts entrenched there. On the opposite side of the demon beasts, there were seats prepared for the humans. There were over 1 million seats. Compared to the humans who had arrived, it was slightly less. However, to the demonic beasts this seat was enough. Preparing more than 1 million seats was already considered a lot. Not every human had the right to prepare their own seats. The ferocious-looking blood-savage demonic beast swept its gaze across the tens of millions of humans. Its blood-red eyes flickered with a luster as it spoke in a deep voice. Blood Flow Empire, come and congratulate the demonic beast clan on establishing an empire. At this moment, a group of experts from the Blood Flow Empire flew over from behind. The Blood Emperor, who was in the lead, looked at a few top-tier demon beast clans, cupped his hands and said with a smile on his face, "Everyone from the Blood Flow Empire, please take a seat." A 6th-level void interpretation demon scale demon beast said in a deep voice. The Blood Emperor laughed valiantly and led his subordinates to sit in the center. The Flowing Emperor Alliance wishes to establish a friendly relationship with the Demon Beast Empire. Feng Yuan led a group of experts from the Flowing Emperor Alliance and flew over as she spoke to the Demon Beast race. Please take a seat. The leader of the bloodthirsty sea monster swept a glance at King Immortal Feng Yuan and the others and let out a sharp voice. Feng Yuan nodded and the group of people sat on the seats in front of them. The distance between them and the Flowing Blood Empire was about 500 meters. The Ice Heart Empire congratulates the establishment of the Demon Beast Empire. A king of a dynasty said respectfully to the Demon Beast race. All humans, sit down according to your strength. However, what made the king feel awkward was that no demon beast answered them alone. A blood-savage demon beast glanced at everyone and said in a deep voice. This made the king feel slightly awkward and he directly sat down on his seat. The other factions also sat down on their seats. As for the remaining seats, there were some powerful mercenary groups and some well-known experts who sat on their seats. As for those who weren't qualified to sit on their seats, they all quietly floated in the sky and watched. No one had any objections. In an instant, the millions of seats were filled with people. On the opposite side, hundreds of thousands of demon beasts were facing each other from afar. It could be said that all the strongest experts in the entire Flowing Sea region had gathered here. The Life and Death Pill Workshop has arrived. The Holy Item Forging Workshop has arrived. The world's 3rd trading company has arrived. At this moment, 3 teams carrying flags flew over to this side. Everyone, please take your seats. The arrival of the 3 powerful factions caused the demonic beasts to look over. A 6th-level profound void tier blood savage demonic beast politely invited them. It was obvious that their attitudes towards these 3 factions were different. And the seats of these 3 factions were also beside the demonic beast clan. Haha, congratulations. The demonic beast clan being able to unify is also the blessing of the entire Flowing Sea region. The elder from the Life and Death Pill Workshop laughed loudly, his voice spreading throughout the entire sky. After thousands of years of war, we also want to stop our dispute with the humans. Today we invite 3 factions to testify. The expert from the Blood Savage Demon Beast grinned and said in a deep voice. With us being fair, everyone can rest assured. An elder at the very front of the world's 3rd trading company expressionlessly said in a deep voice. Yes. Upon hearing the old man's voice, the level 6 demonic beast nodded slightly respectfully. The actions of the demonic beast caused Wang Xian, Feng Yuan, and the others to frown slightly. The attitude of this demonic beast expert toward the old man was a little too good. The bright sun is in the sky. The founding ceremony of the demonic beast empire begins. At this moment, a round void interpretation demonic beast roared, its voice resounding through the heavens and earth. All leaders of the demonic beast race board the natal sculpture. Following that, the demonic beast roared once more. Roar, roar, roar. The leaders of the demonic beast race flew towards the huge sculpture in the center. The 100-meter-tall demonic beast sculpture represented the various demonic beast races. Now, every leader of the human demon beast race stood on the demon beast sculpture that belonged to them. The leaders of the demon Lin demon beast, the blood barbarian demon beast, the bloodthirsty sea demon beast, the ghost monkey demon beast, the sickle-tailed snake demon beast, and so on flew over one by one. The leaders of the 6th and 5th level of the profound void martial stage emitted terrifying auras. Of course, there were also some weak demon beast races that hadn't reached the insightful void realm yet. The leaders of these weak races respectfully lay in front of the 100-meter-tall statue. Around them, tens of millions of people looked at the leaders of the demon beast races in shock. These were all their enemies in the past. We, the demon Lin race. We, the blood barbaric demon beast race. We, the bloodthirsty sea demon beast clan. When all the demon beast leaders landed on the statue, the demon beast leaders raised their heads and roared. I am 112 demon beast clans. Once again I announce the establishment of the demon beast empire. The strong are respected and the weak are ministers. After they finished, the demon beast leaders roared loudly. Their voices spread throughout the entire human demon graveyard. Even the few humans who had not arrived looked over in shock. The humans who had come to watch were also incomparably shocked. Hee, are the demon beast races in the flowing sea region much stronger than the humans? The elder sitting in the middle of the third trading company in the world said with a smile. Elder Rin, if the Blood Flow Empire could join forces with the Flowing Emperor Alliance, the gap wouldn't be too big. A middle-aged man beside him said with a smile. Oh, what a pity. As the old man said this, he looked at the Flowing Emperor Alliance and shook his head with a smile. He who asked someone among them to seek death. They offended the two behemoths, life and death and sacred objects. The middle-aged man said with a smile. Boom. I am the leader of the Blood Savage Beast, announcing the establishment of the Barbarian Empire. I am the #1 emperor of the Barbarian Empire. At this moment, the leader of the group of beasts on the statue, the Blood Savage Beast, moved and flew to the center of the dragon throne. He stood on it, looking down at everyone around him and roared loudly. His 10-meter-tall body, terrifying arms, and ferocious face were filled with blood and cruelty. He stood in front of the dragon throne and looked down at everyone. He stared at the two demon beast races in front of him and said, Demon Lin Clan, Bloodthirsty Sea Demon Clan, do you have any objections? Demon Lin Clan has no objections. Bloodthirsty Sea Demon Clan has no objections. The two demon beast leaders bowed their heads and said, Good. The Barbarian Dynasty has been established. I hereby announce that the Demon Beast Imperial City will be established with the Blood Barbaric Demon Beast Cave as the center. In addition, I hereby announce that a peace treaty will be signed with the Human Blood Flow Dynasty. From today onwards, the Barbarian Dynasty and the Blood Flow Dynasty will live in peace. There will be no fighting or aggression. Does anyone have any objections? Chapter 1448. 1448. You are not qualified to sign it. The Barbarian Dynasty was established. The first Barbarian Emperor was the leader of the Blood Barbarian Demon Beasts. This was not surprising to many people. The humans had received news a few days ago that the Blood Barbarian Demon Beasts had won the battle between the three top forces not long ago. Although many humans were worried about the Blood Barbarian Demon Beasts becoming royalty, there was nothing they could do. This was not something they could stop. However, when the King of the Wildlands announced the establishment of the Imperial City and the signing of the contract with the Blood Flow Empire, everyone was stunned. What's going on? Why did they sign the contract with the Blood Flow Empire? Isn't this the agreement with the humans? Why is it the Blood Flow Empire? Did the demon beast say something wrong? The barbaric emperor's words caused all the humans to reveal stunned expressions as they discussed with their eyes wide open. Oh. Feng Yuan, sect leader Ling, and everyone from the Flowing Emperor Alliance were also slightly stunned. A bad premonition surged into everyone's hearts. Feng Yuan frowned and immediately stood up. Barbaric Emperor, didn't your demon beast clan sign the peace agreement with the humans of the Flowing Sea region? As she spoke, her gaze flickered as she stared at the Emperor of the Blood Barbaric Demon Beast. On the side, the people of the Blood Flow Empire looked over with smiles on their faces, revealing mocking expressions. That's right, Emperor of the Blood Barbaric, didn't you sign a peace agreement with the humans of the Flowing Sea region? Those neutral dynasties and sects were slightly shocked when they heard the words of the Emperor of the Wildlands, and their expressions were somewhat awkward as they asked. Signing a peace agreement with the humans in the Flowing Sea region and signing a peace agreement with the Blood Flow Empire were two completely different concepts. This was especially true when the Wildlands Empire was established and the Blood Barbarian Demon Beasts were part of the royal family. Everyone knew very well about the Blood Barbarian Demon Beast. They were an extremely cruel and bloodthirsty demon beast race. They had always been the natural enemies of the humans. If they only signed an agreement with the Blood Flow Empire, it meant that they could kill humans other than the Blood Flow Empire. In this situation where three parties were standing at the same time, the demon beast race was the strongest. If they attacked them, they had no room to resist. We want to sign a peace agreement with the humans. The Blood Flow Empire can represent your human race. The Emperor of the Wildlands stared at Feng Yuan with his pair of blood-red eyes. He opened his ferocious mouth and said coldly, "Haha, the Emperor of the Wildlands is right. Only the dynasty can speak with the dynasty as equals. Our Blood Flow Empire can represent all the humans in the Blood Flow region." The Blood Emperor stood up and said with a loud laugh, "Your Blood Flow Empire cannot represent the entire Flowing Sea region." Sect leader Ling stared at the Blood Emperor with an icy cold expression as he cried out in a deep voice, "Our Demon Beast Desolate Empire will only sign a peace agreement with the Blood Flow Empire. All of you are not qualified." The Desolate Emperor stood beside the dragon chair and looked down at the members of the Flowing Emperor Alliance. He announced in an incomparably cold and indifferent manner. The words of the Desolate Emperor caused the expressions of everyone from the Flowing Emperor Alliance to change drastically. Their expressions instantly became ugly. The expressions of those neutral factions also changed slightly. They all stared at the Flowing Emperor Alliance's position. "Emperor of the Wildlands, what you mean is that in the future, you will become enemies with our Flowing Emperor Alliance. You will even become like the humans and demonic beast race in the past." Feng Yuan frowned and questioned with an ugly expression. "I will answer your question on behalf of the Emperor of the Wildlands. Might not take long." Ah. At this moment, the Blood Emperor stood up directly. His body moved and he floated in the sky as he laughed loudly. As he spoke, his palm moved, and a crown that was emitting a brilliant light appeared in front of him. On the crown there was a miniature picture of a blood-savage beast. The entire crown was incomparably luxurious. It was obviously not inferior to a 4th or 5th level profound void tier weapon. "King of the Wildlands, this is a gift from our Blood Flow Empire to you. We, the Blood Flow Empire, congratulate you on the establishment of your empire. We also congratulate you, the Blood Barbarians, on becoming a member of the Imperial clan. We wish for the friendship between Blood Flow and the Wildlands." As he spoke, he waved his arm and the resplendent crown flew towards the location of the King of the Wildlands. Roar roar, thank you, Blood Emperor. Today our Wildlands Empire announces that we will sign a peace agreement with the Blood Flow Empire. In the future, all the demon beasts of the Wildlands Empire and all the humans of the Blood Flow Empire will definitely not have any conflict or fight. As for the humans outside of the Blood Flow Empire, we cannot guarantee that. The Blood Barbarian Emperor took the resplendent crown and also roared with joy. "Haha, good." The Blood Emperor laughed loudly and his eyes were filled with killing intent as he looked towards the direction of the drifting Emperor Alliance. What is the meaning of this? Is the Barbarian Empire going to form an alliance with the Blood Flow Empire? This is obvious. In the future, the Barbarian Empire will continue to fight with the humans other than the forces of the Blood Flow Empire. With the strength of the Barbarian Empire, how are we going to resist? This is they trying to kill us. As soon as the Desolate Dynasty and the Blood Emperor finished speaking, the expressions of the tens of millions of humans around them changed drastically. Many people revealed terrified expressions as they cried out involuntarily. The Desolate Dynasty's words were extremely obvious. Next, other than the Blood Flow Dynasty, the rest of the humans were still their enemies and targets for them to devour. Moreover, the Blood Flow Empire and the Desolate Empire had clearly reached an agreement. In the future, this would be a disaster for the forces outside of the Blood Flow Empire. The expressions of all the experts of the Blood Flow Alliance changed drastically. They looked at the people of the Blood Flow Empire who were filled with killing intent, and their faces were filled with vigilance. Haha, everyone, don't be anxious. Today, our Blood Flow Empire will open its doors and welcome anyone and any force to join us. The Blood Emperor looked at the terrified expressions of the tens of millions of people around him. The corners of his mouth curled up and a glint flashed across his eyes. He floated in the sky and spoke to all the factions. His words caused the neutral factions to be stunned and their expressions changed drastically. At this moment, they were 100% sure that the Blood Flow Empire and the Desolate Dynasty had already reached an agreement. They were forcing them to join the Blood Flow Empire. This caused the expressions of the experts from the neutral forces to change as they discussed in low voices. Everyone, we don't have much time. After the establishment of the Desolate Empire, there will be a bloody ceremony. We only have 3 minutes. As the Blood Emperor spoke, he looked at the Emperor of the Desolate Empire. Roar, that's right. We only have 3 minutes. Next, we will hold the founding ceremony of the Demon Beast Dynasty. It will be a carnival. The Barbarian Emperor roared with his mouth wide open. His long tongue stuck out and licked his lips. It was hideous and terrifying. A bloody ceremony? Carnival? At this moment, everyone was shocked. Chapter 1449. 1449. The strongest 1449 was the Emperor. What does the Blood Emperor and the King of the Wildlands mean? A bloody ceremony? A carnival? Why do I have a bad premonition? What's going on? How did this happen? The expressions of the tens of millions of people around them changed drastically when they heard these threatening words. All the factions finally couldn't take it anymore. A bloody ceremony. A carnival. What could it be? A bad premonition lingered in everyone's heart. Some people even turned pale. Boom. At this moment, the expressions of everyone from the Flowing Emperor Alliance changed drastically. Feng Yuan, sect leader Ling, and the rest stood up directly. The Emperor of the Wildlands, Blood Emperor, what do you mean by this? Sect leader Ling shouted at the two with an icy expression. His eyes were filled with fury and shock. There are still 2 minutes left. If you want to join our Flowing Blood Empire, immediately come to the back of our empire's experts. The Blood Emperor ignored sect leader Ling and slightly narrowed his eyes. His gaze swept over the tens of millions of people as he said coldly. This? Gulp. Our Icy Heart Dynasty is willing to join the Blood Flow Dynasty. Our Sky Wind Mercenary Group is also willing to join the Blood Flow Dynasty. We are also willing to join. At this moment, the expressions of all the experts from the neutral forces changed. They all hurriedly flew behind the experts from the Blood Flow Dynasty. They shouted loudly. Even some of the powerful mercenary groups also shouted loudly that they wanted to join the Blood Flow Empire. Tens of millions of people instantly moved, all wanting to move behind the experts from the Blood Flow Empire. They could be said to have completely understood that there might be a bloody battle coming up. And the enemies might be the humans other than the Blood Flow Empire. Especially the people from the Flowing Emperor Alliance. There's still 1 minute left. Now, if there are still people who want to join our Blood Flow Empire, there's still a chance. Otherwise, The Blood Emperor watched as almost all the humans came to the back of their empire, and he stared at everyone from the Flowing Emperor Alliance with a smile on his face. Other than the 4 forces of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, the Flowing Emperor Alliance also had more than a dozen dynasty sections. It was obvious that his last sentence was directed at those dynasties and sections. Gulp, Dragon Phoenix Queen, sect leader Ling, we. Behind them, the kings and sect leaders of the dynasties had cold sweat on their foreheads. They looked at the tens of millions of people who had arrived behind the Flowing Emperor Alliance and gulped, their hearts trembling. The scene in front of them was that the Blood Flow Empire wanted to join forces with the Barbaric Empire to destroy their Flowing Emperor Alliance. They could still resist one, but against 2 they had no way to resist at all. I have to think of the people of our empire. Our Wind Soul Empire wants to withdraw from the alliance. I'm sorry, sect leader Ling. We're not their opponent at all. Suddenly, in the center of the Flowing Emperor Alliance, the king of the Wind Soul Dynasty flew into the sky with a face full of fear. He spoke to sect leader Ling, Feng Yuan, and the others, leading 5 or 6 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. Respected Blood Emperor, we are willing to join the Blood Flow Dynasty. We hope that you will agree. The king of the Wind Soul Dynasty begged the Blood Emperor with a face full of respect. Haha, yes. We can turn back now. I will pardon you all for your sins. All of you who join our Blood Flow Empire in 1 minute will be absolved of your sins. The Blood Emperor laughed and said, "Hiss, the dirty royal alliance is completely finished." Someone actually left the alliance. Just when everyone thought it would be a three-pronged situation, this kind of situation actually happened. When everyone saw the Wind Soul Empire leaving the alliance and joining the Blood Flow Empire, everyone's expression changed slightly as they discussed in low voices. However, at this moment the ones with the most embarrassed expressions were Feng Yuan, sect leader Ling, and the others. King of the Light Dragon Empire, please forgive me for not being able to follow you. Within the Flowing Emperor Alliance, another dynasty king stood out and flew towards the Blood Flow Empire. This caused the hearts of everyone in the Flowing Emperor Alliance to turn cold once again. At this moment they couldn't stop it. If they did, then their alliance would become even more fragile. Sect leader E, please forgive us for not being able to follow you. I have to think about the disciples of the entire Golden Mountain sect. One after another, 3 factions left the Drifting Emperor Alliance. The other factions were also hesitant. Some left, while others gritted their teeth and stood there resolutely. They're too stupid. Why aren't they leaving? That's right. Leaving is the wisest choice. No one will mock them. In the future, the Flowing Ocean region will be under the rule of the Desolate Dynasty and the Blood Flow Dynasty. There are still a few foolish factions that won't leave the Flowing Emperor Alliance. In a dozen seconds, half of the factions left, leaving only 6. From then on, there were only around 1,200 to 300 people in the Flowing Emperor Alliance. Compared to the tens of millions of people in the Blood Flow Empire and the hundreds of thousands of demonic beasts, they were completely isolated. Some people looked at some of the factions that were still standing in the Liu Huang Alliance with slight disdain. This was a group of people who didn't know how to appreciate favors. Even some of the factions that had left the Liu Huang Alliance shook their heads. A wise man submits to circumstances. All of you are simply courting death. Feng Yuan, sect leader Ling, sect leader Wang Yi of the Guanglong Kingdom, and the rest stood there with gloomy expressions. They looked at Wang Xian, who was calm and composed, and pursed their lips. It was a dead end now. If they didn't see Wang Xian's carefree expression, they might have already collapsed. When the Blood Emperor and the Blood Flow Empire saw this scene, their faces were filled with smiles. Roar! Roar! A minute had passed, and a roar came from the mouth of the Emperor of the Wildlands. Everyone hurriedly looked over, and the Blood Emperor's face was filled with smiles. Next, some people were going to die. Our Demon Beast Empire, the Wildlands Empire, has been established. Next, we will hold a grand ceremony of the Empire. I, the Emperor of the Wildlands, issue an order. The Emperor of the Wildlands stood in front of the dragon throne. His arms were spread open, and his face was filled with excitement, filled with a domineering aura. He swept his gaze across all the demon beast races. Obey my Emperor's orders. On the surrounding sculptures, the leaders of the demon beast races immediately prostrated themselves on the sculptures and responded loudly. Obey my Emperor's orders. Below, all the demon beast races knelt on the ground and roared loudly. Wait, get ready to attack. In front of the Bloody Flow Empire, 3 emperors stood up slowly with smiles on their faces. Their weapons appeared in their hands. They were here. The surrounding tens of millions of people held their breaths. They knew that the battle was about to begin. The Flowing Emperor Alliance was about to be massacred. At the Flowing Emperor Alliance's position, everyone's faces were filled with cold sweat as they held their weapons nervously. Next, let's watch a good show. At this moment, Wang Xian revealed a smile on his face. His faint voice entered everyone's ears. In the Demon Beast Empire, the strongest is the Emperor. Leader of the Blood Barbarians, you guys haven't asked if our colorful algae tribe has agreed to it. Suddenly, a cold voice resounded across the sky. Chapter 1450. 1450. The 1,450 strongest were His Majesty. When this voice suddenly sounded, all the humans and demon beasts were stunned. Especially the leader of the blood barbaric demon beasts who was standing in front of the dragon throne. He raised his arm and received the worship of all the demon beasts. The sudden voice caused his body to completely freeze. All the humans and demon beasts looked towards the source of the voice. On top of a demon beast sculpture, a special demon beast was floating. It did not crouch down but stood there straight. It was 7 to 8 meters tall and had a humanoid upper body, while its lower body was covered with branches that looked like seaweed. Its body was slightly slender, but it was not very eye-catching. The leader of the blood barbaric demon beast slowly turned around and looked at Ao Xingmu, its eyes filled with endless killing intent. Not long ago, the blood barbaric demon beasts were fighting against the bloodthirsty sea demon Lin and the other 3 races. The blood barbaric demon beast race used their powerful strength to make the other 2 top-tier demon beasts submit. Today, their blood barbaric demon beasts became the royal family, and they became the emperor of the wilderness. No one objected, and no demon beast race dared to oppose. Now, at this critical moment, someone actually dared to ask, "Do we agree?" The brightly colored algae demon beast clan. At the position of the demon beasts below, all the demon beasts raised their bodies and stared at the brightly colored algae demon beast leader on the sculpture. Some of the demon beasts were heading towards the position of the brightly colored algae demon beast clan. They discovered that all the brightly colored algae demon beasts didn't lower their bodies to show their submission. All of them were standing there. What's going on? A demon beast clan doesn't want to submit? That brightly colored algae demon beast clan wants to challenge the blood barbaric demon beast clan? To challenge the throne? Didn't the demonic beast race go through a huge battle a long time ago? Why are there still demonic beast races that refuse to submit? In the surrounding area, tens of millions of humans were stunned when they saw the multicolored algae demonic beast race that suddenly appeared in front of them. Even the people from the Blood Emperor, the Life and Death Forging Workshop, the Holy Item Forging Workshop, and the 3rd largest trading company in the world were stunned. This. At this moment, everyone from the Flowing Emperor Alliance recalled what Wang Xian had said to them. Their eyes were filled with excitement. Watching a good show. The good show had begun. The demon beast race, the strong shall be the emperor. However, your colorful algae race wants to challenge my throne? The leader of the blood barbarian demon beast stared at Ao Xingmu with his blood-red eyes filled with killing intent as he growled. I don't think you have the ability to be the emperor of the wilderness. Ao Xingmu stared at the leader of the blood barbaric demon beasts and said indifferently. Ah, good. You are just a small demon beast race, yet you dare to challenge the position of the blood barbaric demon beast royal race. Blood barbaric demon beasts, listen up. Kill all the members of the colorful algae demon beast race. Roar, kill them. The leader of the blood barbaric demon beast clan commanded with a terrifying expression. Roar. Below, a group of blood barbaric demon beasts stared at the multicolored algae demon beast clan with their bloody eyes and let out a terrifying roar. Challenge our blood barbaric demon beast imperial clan, challenge our blood barbaric emperor. You bunch of damnable things are not qualified yet. Let me eat you. Below, a blood barbaric demon beast expert of the 6th level of the insightful void tier turned into a blood shadow and directly attacked Ao Xingmu. Eat them. The rest of the blood barbaric demon beasts charged toward the colorful algae demon beast race. The brutal aura instantly filled the entire space. The bloody smell condensed in the sky. If they didn't agree with each other, they would directly kill each other. This was the demon beast race where the strong claimed the emperor. Leave no one alive. The leader of the blood barbaric demon beast stood in front of the dragon chair, staring at the area below with a cold face, and ordered with killing intent. Die. The level 6 insightful void level blood barbaric demon beast drew a blood shadow and instantly appeared in front of Ao Xingmu. Its sharp claws directly tore at his body. Ao Xingmu looked at the blood barbaric demon beast that was attacking him, and a smile appeared on his face. The green vines on his lower body swayed, directly turning into thorns and attacking the blood barbaric demon beast. Break. The blood barbarian demon beast at the 6th level of the insightful void tier looked at the countless vines, and its eyes were filled with a crazy killing intent. Its claws grew to 10 meters long, leaving bloody marks. Whoosh. However, at this moment, countless roots seemed to grow under Ao Xingmu. They condensed into a pair of terrifying palms and grabbed him. The claws landed on the palms, leaving only traces of blood. With just the 2 of you, you can't be called the royal demon beast race. Ao Xingmu stood there, looking at the level 6 insightful void demonic beast expert that was grabbed by his 100-meter large palm. His face didn't have the slightest fluctuation. He extended his emerald green arm, and an emerald green spear appeared in his palm. His arm moved and he directly stabbed towards the level 6 profound void demonic beast. Break for me, roar roar. The eyes of the blood barbaric demonic beast that was trapped in the palm revealed a shocked expression. It roared loudly and many blood-colored snakes attacked towards the huge palm. It wanted to break free from the shackles of the palm. No, leaders, save me. However, when it saw that the blood-colored snakes only left faint traces on the palm, it finally panicked. Looking at the long spear that was rapidly attacking it, it begged for mercy in fear. What? The leader of the blood barbaric demon beasts in front of the dragon chair saw that his clansmen who were of the same level as him were instantly trapped, and his face revealed a terrified expression. Break for me. His expression changed drastically. With a loud roar, a blood shadow that was 1,000 meters long slashed directly at the emerald green long spear. Its body shook and turned into 15 meters in size as it attacked Ao Xingmu. Pooh! When Ao Xingmu saw the attack from the leader of the blood barbarian demon beast, his expression did not change at all. With a shake of the spear, it instantly pierced through the 6th level insightful void tier blood barbarian demon beast. Ah! With a large hole in its body, the blood barbarian demon beast did not die immediately. The blood on its body was squirming rapidly. Land and take root. At this moment, Ao Xingmu's voice rang out. The emerald green spear was growing rapidly like roots that had pierced into the soil. The roots slowly covered the body of the blood barbarian demon beast, and its life force disappeared. Die. When the leader of the blood barbarian demon beast saw that its clansmen of the same level were killed, its eyes were filled with shock. His body flashed, and thousands of shadows appeared in the sky, attacking Ao Xingmu from all directions. The king of the wilderness belongs to me. Ao Xingmu looked at the blood shadows with a calm face. There was no fluctuation at all. He slowly spread his arms and countless roots covered the area behind him. The area covered by the roots reached a radius of 3,000 to 4,000 meters, and the blood-filled sky was covered. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Ah. Chapter 1451. 1451 paid his respects to the Dragon King. Ah. The Great War suddenly broke out, the appearance of the colorful algae demon beasts, and the massacre ordered by the leader of the blood barbaric demon beasts. Everything happened in an instant. However, in less than 10 seconds, screams of despair made all the humans and demon beasts widen their eyes, full of disbelief. However, when this scream sounded again, all the humans and demon beasts opened their mouths slightly. How is this possible? How is this possible? Aren't you multicolored algae demon beasts from the 5th level of the profound void tier? How can you be so strong? In the sky that was surrounded by countless roots, every phantom image of the leader of the blood savage demon beast was pierced through by the roots. Even its main body was penetrated by the roots. Its entire body was exuding a monstrous blood chi. It cut off the roots in front of its body and roared in fear. Around it there were countless densely packed roots. The roots completely covered it. The danger of death hung above its head. Its gaze swept across its surroundings and its expression was somewhat panicked. Weaklings don't have the right to say so much nonsense. As Ao Xingmu spoke, he waved his arm, and the roots that filled the sky covered the leader of the blood barbaric demon beast. Oh my God! This attack that filled the sky is simply too terrifying. That Emperor of the Wildlands is going to be killed. No, the leader of the blood barbaric demon beast is going to be finished. How can this demon beast race that suddenly appeared be so terrifying? In less than a minute, it easily killed 2 level 6 insightful void martial artists. What level is it? Level 7 insightful void martial artists. In the surroundings, all the humans and demon beasts looked at the battle between the colorful algae demon beast race and the blood barbaric demon beast race in shock. Especially when they saw the leader of the blood barbaric demon beast race and the level 6 insightful void martial artist blood barbaric demon beast being easily killed, their faces were filled with shock. Especially the demon beast clan. The royal demon beast clan had already chosen a clan, and now a clan had suddenly appeared, directly crushing the blood barbaric demon beast clan. On the sculpture, the leaders of the various clans raised their heads and stared blankly, their hearts incomparably shocked. How could such a terrifying clan suddenly appear? The Blood Emperor, the Life and Death Pill Workshop, and the others were all filled with astonishment. They had already made an agreement with the blood-savage demonic beast. Now that a demonic beast race had suddenly appeared and removed the leader of the blood-savage demonic beast from the throne, what was going to happen to their agreement? This was especially true for the Blood Flow Empire. They had specially prepared a crown for the leader of the blood-savage demonic beast. Before they could put it on, he had already been killed. What frightened them the most was that this leader of the demonic beast race who had suddenly appeared was actually so terrifying. This is 7th level of the Profound Void tier. At the center of the third trading company in the world, that old man suddenly stood up, his gaze fixed on Ao Xingmu who was calmly standing there in the sky. What? The surrounding middle-aged man's face trembled, and he stood there with his eyes wide open. So. Peng? At this moment in the sky, the roots covering the sky were retracted, and the corpse of the leader of the blood-savage demonic beast fell to the ground below. Leader. Roar Emperor. When the tens of thousands of blood-savage beasts saw their leader and a rank 6 profound void martial expert being killed, they all roared in fear. When the remaining rank 6 profound void martial expert saw his leader and companion being killed, his pupils constricted, filled with fear. He stared at the colorful algae demon beast in front of him, whose expression changed. Run. As greedy and bloody savage demon beasts, they cherished their lives very much. Do you still want to run? Can you escape? Ao Xingmu looked at the blood-red shadow running out desperately with a cold expression on his face. Run. The rest of the bloody savage demon beasts were shocked and angry when they saw the last top-tier expert of their clan running away. The rest of the blood-savage beasts desperately fled in all directions. Ao Xingmu swept a glance, his pair of emerald-green eyes staring at the surroundings, and the lower half of his body's vines directly fell into the soil below. Hong. Under everyone's shocked gazes, a huge tree demon directly drilled out from the ground below the level 6 insightful void demonic beast that had already fled 2,000 meters away. The tree demon was 1,000 meters in size, and it gave off a terrifying aura as it attacked. Boom, boom. At this moment, many terrifying tree demons also appeared below the other fleeing blood-savage beasts. Aw. Roar, don't kill me. A miserable scream sounded out. The leader of the rank 6 insightful void demonic beast was killed by the tree demon at a distance of 2,000 meters. The other 10,000 blood-savage beasts had all suffered a devastating blow. Within the colorful algae clan, another clansman with the strength of a rank 6 insightful void realm expert attacked the remaining blood-savage beasts. For a time, endless roars could be heard from the surroundings. All the humans and beasts swallowed their saliva and looked at this scene in shock. 2 kilometers away they killed a rank 6 insightful void martial artist who was trying to escape. A blood-savage demonic beast clan that was just a moment ago. A demonic beast clan that had 500 to 600 insightful void martial artists was easily exterminated. They didn't have the strength to resist. Greetings, my emperor. On the statue, the leaders of the demonic beast clans had respectful expressions. The expression of the demonic Lin leader changed as he lowered his body and roared. Paying respects to our emperor. The other leaders of the demonic beast races also quickly lowered their bodies and paid their respects. This colorful algae demonic beast leader that suddenly appeared was definitely an existence that surpassed rank 6 of the Profound Void Martial Stage. A rank 7 of the Profound Void Martial Stage was an invincible existence in the entire Flowing Sea region. Paying respects to our emperor. The hundreds of thousands of demonic beasts in the surroundings quickly knelt down and said, in the demonic beast clan, the strong were the emperor. The strength displayed by the leader of the multicolored algae demonic beasts was enough to make all the demonic beasts submit. It was even more respectful than the leader of the blood-savage demonic beasts. Hee. Ao Xingmu's gaze swept over all the demonic beasts in the surroundings, and a faint smile appeared on his face. He floated above the dragon throne, and a faint pressure enveloped the entire demon beast race. From today onwards, listen to my orders. Ao Xingmu's voice resounded in every demon beast's mind. We obey the emperor's orders. We obey the emperor's orders. The demon beast leaders responded loudly, and all the demon beasts roared respectfully. Ao Xingmu's face revealed a smile. This? The Blood Emperor's expression kept changing when he saw that the emperor of the demon beasts had changed. Emperor of the demon beasts, Can we continue the agreement between us and the Demon Beast Dynasty? The Blood Emperor frowned and asked Ao Xingmu. The peace agreement. Ao Xingmu looked at the Blood Emperor with a smile and asked indifferently. Chapter 1452. 1452-1452 paid his respects to the Dragon King. That's right, it's the peace agreement. When the Blood Emperor heard Ao Xingmu's words, he heaved a sigh of relief and nodded respectfully. You are the true king of the wildlands and your strength is probably unrivaled in the Luhai region. Our Blood Flow Empire is willing to coexist peacefully with your wildlands empire. At this moment, I have a wood elemental scepter that I have treasured for a long time, and I am gifting it to the true king of the wildlands. As he spoke, he took out a 5th-level void interpretation wooden staff from his interspatial ring. With a wave of his arm, he flew towards Ao Xingmu. Compared to the leader of the blood barbaric demon beasts, this time there was more respect and fawning. He had no choice. After witnessing his terrifying strength, even if he was the emperor of the Blood Flow Empire, he still had to be respectful. After all, the other party was an invincible existence at the 7th-level void interpretation. Naturally, the peace agreement has to be signed. Ao Xingmu didn't accept the scepter. He looked at the Blood Emperor with a hint of mockery in his eyes. However, it's not with you guys. As Ao Xingmu spoke, he looked at the position of the Luhuang Alliance. Everyone in the Luhuang Alliance was stunned when they saw the terrifying Emperor of the Wildlands and the invincible expert at the 7th level of the see-through realm looking over. Wang Xian gently nudged Feng Yuan. Feng Yuan was stunned and her eyes revealed a look of surprise. She moved her body and flew directly into the sky. King of the Wildlands, our Luhuang Alliance hopes to sign a peace agreement with your Wildlands Empire. In the future we will never fight and kill each other. As she spoke, she bowed to Ao Xingmu. I don't dare. You don't have to be polite, Queen Dragon and Phoenix. However, what happened next shocked everyone. When Feng Yuan said this, the invincible Emperor of the Wildlands actually bowed respectfully to the Dragon Phoenix Queen. It was somewhat respectful. What the fuck? Even Feng Yuan was stunned when she saw Ao Xingmu bow to her. What's going on? How could the invincible Emperor of the Wildlands be so respectful to the Dragon Phoenix Queen? Am I seeing things? The current Emperor of the Wildlands is a terrifying existence at the 7th level of the insightful void tier. He was so indifferent to the Blood Emperor just now. How could he be so respectful to the Dragon Phoenix Queen, who is at the 5th level of the insightful void tier? The surrounding humans widened their eyes and discussed in disbelief. What was going on? The expressions of the Blood Emperor, the Blood Flow Empire, and even the Life and Death Pill Workshop changed slightly when they saw this scene. They had a bad premonition. Everyone from the Blood Flow Empire Alliance also widened their eyes in disbelief. We are willing to sign an agreement with the Blood Flow Empire Alliance. Ao Xingmu continued to speak to Feng Yuan. Good, that's great. A trace of excitement flashed through Feng Yuan's eyes. Emperor of the Wildlands, what about our Blood Flow Empire? The Blood Emperor's pupils constricted slightly when he saw this scene, and he hurriedly spoke. All of you are not worthy. Ao Xingmu glanced at the Blood Emperor and said disdainfully. What the hell is going on? How could it be like this? We have just joined the Blood Flow Empire, and now the Barbarian Empire is not signing an agreement with the Blood Flow Empire. At this moment, all the humans standing behind the Blood Flow Empire were dumbfounded. Just now, in order to survive better, they had announced that they would join the Blood Flow Empire. Now, it was a complete reversal. Especially those few factions that had betrayed the Blood Flow Empire and joined the Blood Flow Empire. They staggered and stared at the position of the Blood Flow Empire in a daze. When the Blood Emperor heard their words, his expression changed drastically. His gaze was fixed on Ao Xingmu. He turned his head stiffly and looked at the three forces sitting below him. Emperor of the Wildlands, didn't we make an agreement with the Demon Beast clan? At this moment, the three forces of the Life and Death Pill Workshop below could no longer sit still. They stood up and stared at Ao Xingmu with unsightly expressions as they asked loudly. Did we make an agreement with the Blood Savage Demon Beast clan? Ao Xingmu stared at them and asked somewhat mockingly. This? The expressions of the people from the three factions changed slightly. Then what does the Emperor of the Wildlands mean by this? The old man at the center of the world's third trading company stared at Ao Xingmu as he asked in a deep voice. This is a matter of our flowing sea region and our demon beast empire. I can do whatever I want. Ao Xingmu also stared at the old man. His words caused the faces of all the people from the three forces to turn extremely gloomy. Demon Lin, according to what you have discussed with the Blood Barbarian Demon Beast clan, how should the following ceremony be held? Ao Xingmu's gaze moved away from the old man and asked the leader of the Demon Lin clan on the statue indifferently. Reporting to my emperor. According to the agreement, we will slaughter the human side that has not signed an agreement with us. We will drink the blood of the human experts to celebrate the establishment of our demon beast empire. The leader of the demon Qilin said without any hesitation. With the current strength of the Emperor of the Wilderness, he could suppress all the demon beast races by himself. He would not tolerate any disloyalty from them. All right. Ao Xingmu shouted loudly. His body moved and he flew down from the dragon throne. He flew directly towards Wang Xian. At the same time, more than 1,000 members of his clan, the Starwood Dragon clan of the Dragon Palace, flew directly towards Wang Xian. Under everyone's gaze, Ao Xingmu landed in front of Wang Xian and knelt down. Greetings, Dragon King. I have lived up to your expectations. I have become the king of demonic beasts. Do you wish to continue with the ceremony? Ao Xingmu knelt in front respectfully and reported to Wang Xian. As he spoke, all the Starwood dragons knelt in front of Wang Xian. Hiss. Oh my god, what is going on? Ah, damn, I have already guessed that the Flowing Emperor Alliance is related to this new king of the Wildlands. However, I never expected that they were actually the subordinates of the nameless sword demon. How is this possible? Wang Xian is only at level 6 of the see-through realm. How did the king of the Wildlands become his king? When everyone saw the invincible king of the Wildlands kneeling in front of Wang Xian, every single human was in a daze. They rubbed their eyes in disbelief. Most of them were trembling as they felt that the scene before them was a little crazy. However, most of them were terrified. That's right, they were terrified. That was because they had chosen the Bloodflow Empire's side just now. Their expressions changed drastically as they stared at Wang Xian. They couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. Let's continue. Wang Xian looked at Ao Xingmu and the rest in front of him. A faint smile appeared on his face. He looked in the direction of the Bloodflow Empire and swept his gaze across everyone. A faint killing intent flashed in his eyes. All Bloodflow Empire members, kill them all. Yes. Ao Xingmu replied loudly. All Savage Dynasty demon beasts, listen to my orders. A roar sounded out. Chapter 1453. 1453 The 1,453 people attacked. All Savage Dynasty demon beasts, listen to my command. When Ao Xingmu's voice resounded in the sky around the prodigy stage, the wind and clouds in the sky changed. On the ground, the blood-red plants on the ground seemed to come alive. The moment the voice ended, there was dead silence in the surroundings. The expressions of the leaders of the Demon Scale Demon Beast clan and the Bloodthirsty Sea Demon clan kept changing. They also didn't expect this scene to happen. Ao Xingmu, who had easily exterminated the Blood Barbarian Demonic Beast clan, was actually a subordinate of a human. Moreover, that human was the supreme genius of the human monster graveyard. This implied that the entire Demonic Beast clan would listen to a human. But if they didn't listen, what could they do? We obey the Emperor's order. After a short second, the 100 or so demon beast leaders on the statue instantly emitted terrifying killing intent. Demon beasts had always regarded the strong as their emperor. No matter what, Ao Xingmu in front of them was their emperor. They didn't care about anything else. Moreover, they couldn't care about anything else. If they wanted to live, they could only listen to the Emperor's orders. We obey the Emperor's orders. Hundreds of thousands of demonic beasts stood up, and waves of murderous aura and barbaric aura shot up into the sky. Kill all those from the Bloodflow Empire. Ao Xingmu swept his gaze across all the demonic beasts and ordered in a deep voice. Yes. Dozens of demonic beasts roared again, and pairs of blood-red eyes looked at everyone from the Bloodflow Empire. No, 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 I'm not from the Bloodshed Empire. I'm not. Don't kill me. Sir Wang Xian, we're not from the Bloodshed Empire. We were forced to do so just now. Don't kill us. I'm willing to join the Bloodshed Empire Alliance. I'm willing to join. Don't kill me. At this moment, the tens of millions of people behind the Bloodshed Empire were completely dumbfounded. Feeling the terrifying aura of the hundreds of thousands of demon beasts and the murderous aura that caused the heaven and earth to change color, their eyes were filled with fear. These hundreds of thousands of intelligent demon beasts were very, very few compared to the tens of millions of people. However, in terms of quality, the difference was simply too great. In fact, a single demon beast could slaughter 1,000 humans. Not to mention, there were also over 2,000 void interpretation experts. The sounds of begging for mercy continued to ring out. Some people even flew towards the rear of the Flowing Emperor Alliance, completely opposite to the scene just now. However, the expressions of those few forces that had just betrayed the Flowing Emperor Alliance became interesting. From green to white, from white to black, it was very interesting. Regret, all surged into their hearts. You. Blood Emperor felt the aura of hundreds of thousands of beasts and his expression changed drastically. His body that was suspended in the air kept flying backward. His expression changed drastically, and there was a trace of fear in his eyes. Everyone in Blood Flow Empire was also full of fear. They held their weapons tightly, and their foreheads were full of cold sweat. Kill. Meanwhile, the experts from the Blood Flow Empire revealed excited expressions on their faces. They raised the weapons in their hands. Their eyes were filled with intense and excited fighting spirit. The invincible king of demonic beasts was actually a subordinate of Lord Wuxia. This was simply unimaginable to them. No wonder Lord Wuxia was always so calm. No wonder the invincible king of the Wildlands would be so polite to the dragon and phoenix queen. Those who have nothing to do with this, leave this place. Kill all the people from the Bloodshed Empire. Wuxia raised his arm slowly and a 5 elements millstone appeared in his hand. His cold voice rang out. Let's go, let's leave quickly. Thank you, Lord Wang. Thank you, Lord Wang. Let's leave immediately. We will join the Bloodshed Empire Alliance in the future. Thank you, Lord Wang. When they heard Wuxia's words, the humans and factions who had joined the Flowing Blood Empire immediately fled into the distance. As they fled, they expressed their gratitude with faces full of gratitude. Kill? Ao Xingmu raised his arm. Above his head, an emerald green tree appeared. The tree looked somewhat like an ancestral tree. Branches were hanging down from the sky. Roar. Hundreds of thousands of demonic beasts roared. The leaders of the demonic beast races leaped forward, directly pouncing towards the Blood Flow Empire. 10,000 beasts roared. They watched helplessly as hundreds of thousands of demonic beasts pounced over. Just that aura alone caused all the profound Void Realm experts of the Blood Flow Empire to lose their fighting spirit. Even if they had 600 to 700 profound Void Realm experts. Sir Rin, save us. When the Blood Emperor saw the demonic beast charging over, he shouted at an old man from the third trading company in the world with a face full of fear. Below, the old man from the third trading company in the world frowned slightly when he heard the Blood Emperor's cry for help. Everything had far exceeded their expectations. The plan was completely messed up. However, they were merchants. Merchants valued harmony and never participated in the power struggle. If they acted, it would be against the rules. The third trading company in the world, please act. Sir Rin, please lend a hand to the Bloodshed Empire. However, the expressions of the people from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop changed drastically, and they hurriedly shouted at the old man. Since things had come to this point, they knew that they had to lend a hand to the Bloodshed Empire. If they didn't help this time, the Flowing Sea region would belong to the Flowing Emperor Alliance in the future. With the Dragon Phoenix Empire's rejection of their two factions, they would lose the vast market in the Flowing Sea region. This was a considerable loss for the two factions. Oh. The old man surnamed Rin frowned when he saw the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop open their mouths. He knew very well that the third trading company in the world was far inferior to these two factions. However, he also knew that these two factions had encountered some trouble, and no experts could come over. However, a merchant was a merchant. He wasn't prepared to make a move. Help the Bloody Flow Empire, and we'll help you expand a regional market. At this moment, the group of people from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop saw his hesitant expression. They looked at each other and gritted their teeth as they spoke. Oh, everyone, I'm a man of my word. The old man widened his eyes. His eyes were filled with light as he asked with incomparable excitement. We'll naturally keep our word. The group of people from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop nodded. All right. Boom. The old man shouted loudly, and a force that far surpassed a level 6 insightful void tear instantly erupted from his body. Everyone, why can't we discuss anything properly? Why do we have to fight to the death? He moved and instantly appeared in front of the experts from the Bloodshed Empire. With a wave of his arm, a sky-blue light barrier appeared out of thin air in front of him. A single person faced hundreds of thousands of demon beasts without any change in expression. Oh, this is? A 7th-level void interpretation expert. Another 7th-level void interpretation expert. That's an expert from the 3rd trading company in the world. I didn't expect that the 3rd trading company in the world would actually have a 7th-level void interpretation expert. When the old man appeared in front of Bloody Flow Empire, everyone's expressions changed drastically. Yet another invincible expert at the 7th rank of the Profound Void Realm. A hint of excitement appeared on the pale faces of the people from Bloody Flow Empire, and they heaved a heavy sigh of relief. Chapter 1454. 1454 1,454 people blocked and killed. 7th level of the see-through realm? What? That 3rd trading company in the world is actually a 7th level see-through realm expert. Another 7th level see-through realm expert has appeared. When the hundreds of thousands of demon beasts and people from the Flowing Emperor Alliance saw an old man who suddenly appeared in front of the Blood Flow Empire, their expressions changed slightly. They stared at the water blue light screen like a barrier that fell from the 9 heavens, blocking the front of the Blood Flow Empire's people. All the demonic beasts stopped and looked at their emperor. Ao Xingmu frowned slightly and looked at Wang Xian, waiting for his order. You will be in charge of the following matters. Wang Xian frowned and said to Feng Yuan when he saw the 3rd trading company in the world standing in front of the Blood Flow Empire. Regardless of whether it was the 3rd trading company in the world, the Life and Death Pill Workshop or the Holy Item Forging Workshop, they were not something the current Dragon Palace could fight against. If they really offended them, Feng Yuan would still need to be prepared to deal with them. Therefore he let Feng Yuan make the decision. The 3rd trading company in the world, you have to interfere in our fight. Feng Yuan nodded slowly and floated in the sky. Her eyes flickered as she stared at the elder at the 7th level of the Profound Void tier. No, the establishment of the Demon Beast Empire and the ceremony was announced by US and the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. We have the obligation to protect the humans who came today from any harm. The old man looked at Feng Yuan with a smile on his face and indifferently continued, the Emperor of the Wilderness and this young Master Wang, I think this matter should end here. If we really fight, it won't benefit anyone. Hehe, the 3rd trading company in the world. Then why didn't you stand out when they wanted to kill us just now? Feng Yuan's expression turned cold when she heard the old man's words as she asked mockingly. Haha, give our World Trading Company some face this time. If we really fight, we will kill 1,000 enemies and lose 800 of our own. The old man did not directly answer Feng Yuan's words. He slightly raised his head and the aura on his body rose once again as he spoke with a smile on his face. A faint threat entered the ears of every person and demonic beast. As an expert who had stepped into the 7th rank of the Profound Void tier for more than 2,000 years, he did not think that the Emperor of the Wildlands was his opponent. Moreover, if they really fought, he could make the Wildlands Empire and the Flowing Emperor Alliance suffer heavy losses. The other party knew what to choose. This time, our Blood Flow Empire admits defeat. If we really fight, you will lose at least half of your forces. Our Blood Flow Empire will not attack your Flowing Emperor Alliance in the future. The Blood Emperor said to Feng Yuan with an extremely unsightly expression. This time his tone was a little weak. If it wasn't for the presence of the experts from the 3rd trading company in the world, their Blood Flow Empire would be completely finished. The Emperor of the Wildlands was actually the subordinate of that Wang Xian. This made him unable to believe it even until now. Faced with the elder's faint threat, Feng Yuan's expression was a little ugly. Her eyes flickered with killing intent. Do you want to make a move? Wang Xian sensed Feng Yuan's killing intent and asked her plainly. I can make a move. Are you confident? Feng Wan's eyes flickered as she looked at him and asked, "Kill anyone who gets in my way." Wang Xian smiled faintly. His voice was not concealed at all as it resounded in the sky. "Kill anyone who gets in my way." With Ao Xingmu's current strength, he could almost kill an opponent of the same level with 100% certainty. Since the third trading company in the world dared to interfere, he would kill them all. "Kill anyone who gets in my way." Wang Xian's words caused the expressions of everyone in the Bloodshed Empire to change slightly. The expression of the old man from the third trading company in the world also changed slightly. A cold look appeared on his face. "Kill me? Haha, don't be too arrogant." The old man laughed maniacally and said with a face full of ridicule, "I'll kill you if I say so." Wang Xian looked at the old man who was laughing maniacally and shouted with a straight face, "The Dragon King wants you to die. No one will be able to save you today. Kill him." Ao Xingmu roared when he heard Wang Xian's words. As soon as he finished his sentence, his entire figure disappeared and appeared in front of the old man in an instant. Forest illusion. A cold voice resonated in the sky. Following that, a terrifying forest appeared around him in an instant. The entire forest instantly covered the old man. The trees outside the forest rapidly rotated, forming a terrifying space with a radius of 5 kilometers in the sky. "What? You want to kill me? You're courting death." When the world's third trading company's old man saw Ao Xingmu instantly attack, his expression changed drastically, and he roared furiously. "Shatter, sea palm." His entire body trembled and a terrifying tsunami came from his body. The tsunami surged out of his body, transforming into a terrifying palm with a radius of 3 to 4 kilometers. The palm directly bombarded the surrounding forest. Absorb. However, what shocked the old man was that when the palm landed in the forest, it did not cause the slightest ripple, as if it had directly disappeared. He clearly sensed his own energy and released it. Tree Demon Attack. Ao Xingmu was floating at the front. With a light shout, hundreds of tree demons that were hundreds of meters in size attacked the old man. After absorbing the ancestral tree's energy in the Dragon Palace, Ao Xingmu had completed a terrifying transformation. After the transformation, he was 100% confident that he could kill a 7th-level profound void martial artist. Boom, boom, boom. The trees instantly appeared in front of the old man at a terrifying speed. The terrifying sharp thorns on them stabbed at him. This caused the old man's expression to change drastically. Things seemed to have exceeded his expectations. "Kill all the people from the Bloodshed Empire, leave no one alive." However, when Ao Xingmu's forest illusion completely enveloped the expert at level 7 of the see-through realm in the sky, all the experts from the demonic beast race and the Lu Huang alliance started to move. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 5 elements millstone directly floated in the sky. They actually dared to attack. Oh my god, the king of the wildlands actually attacked the old man from the third trading company in the world and trapped him completely. Dodge, let's dodge. The instant the demonic beasts and the flowing emperor alliance made their move, the tens of millions of humans around them were shocked. They watched in horror as the experts charged over and hurriedly fled into the distance. This. At this moment, everyone from the Blood Flow Empire was stupefied. They had originally thought that the appearance of the third trading company's rank 7 void interpretation expert would save their lives. However, what they had never expected was that the other party didn't care about that rank 7 void interpretation expert at all. Moreover, he wanted to kill him. How do we fight? How do we fight? The other party's strength is several times stronger than ours. All the experts of the Blood Flow Empire looked at the demon beasts and the experts of the Flowing Emperor Alliance with terrified faces. "Run, everyone, quickly run." The terrified voice came from the mouth of the Blood Emperor. Chapter 1455. 1455 chased after 20,000 li, killing him. Run. The Blood Emperor looked at the terrifying killing intent charging at him. Even though he was a 6th-level void interpretation expert, his face was pale. Without any hesitation, he roared loudly and directly fled into the distance. Flowing Emperor Alliance had 3 6th-level void interpretation experts, and Beast Empire still had 4 6th-level void interpretation experts, a total of 7. However, they only had 4. As for the rank 5 and rank 4 profound void martial artists and above, the difference was many times greater. Run, run. All the people of the Blood Flow Empire did not have the slightest fighting spirit, and fled in the direction of the Blood Flow Empire in fear. They had never expected that today, when they came to destroy the Flowing Emperor Alliance, the result would be their own doomsday. The powerhouses of the Bloody Flow Empire tried their best to escape into the distance. In just a few seconds they had fled 4 to 5,000 meters away. Roar! All the Insightful Emptiness Realm experts chase after them. Those who have not reached the Insightful Emptiness Realm do not need to chase after them. At this moment, a majestic voice sounded in the sky. In the surroundings, the tens of millions of humans who had not managed to escape far looked towards the direction of the voice. Soon their eyes widened. Oh my God, what kind of creature is that? It's Wang Xian, the Heaven's Pride Supreme Wang Xian. It's too terrifying. It's 70 meters long. This is the largest creature I've ever seen. The humans widened their eyes and were filled with shock. Follow your orders, chase after it. The leaders of the Demon Lin clan and the bloodthirsty sea monsters were slightly shocked when they sensed the terrifying aura coming from Wang Xian. They didn't hesitate at all and immediately roared at all the demon beast races. Although Wang Xian didn't belong to their demon beast empire, he was the boss of their emperor. How could he not obey? Today I will definitely destroy your blood flow empire. Wang Xian swayed his huge body and directly made Feng Yuan stand on his body. On his left and right, there were 4 Demon Lin and bloodthirsty sea demon beasts of the Insightful Void level on his left and right. Sect Master Ling followed from the side. Behind him, there were a few thousand Insightful Void level demon beasts and 400 to 500 Insightful Void level powerhouses from the Drifting Emperor Alliance. Roar! Roar! Wang Xian roared and chased after them. Feng Yuan stood on Wang Xian with a smile on her face. She held the phoenix staff in her hand and a huge pair of phoenix wings appeared on her back. She was dressed in fiery red clothes and surrounded herself. Standing on Wang Xian, she was like the queen of the entire continent. Wang Xian was trying to create momentum for Feng Yuan. It was to pave the way for Feng Yuan to control the Flowing Sea region in the future. What is the relationship between the Queen of Dragon and Phoenix and Wang Xian? Wang Xian actually allowed her to stand on his body. I heard that the Dragon and Phoenix Empire was able to reach this stage thanks to the support of the Supreme Heaven's Pride expert. Their relationship is not shallow. It's too terrifying. That Supreme Heaven's Pride expert led thousands of Insightful Void stage powerhouses to hunt down the Flowing Blood Empire. Good boy. Lord Wang Xian and the rest are still magnanimous. They are not as overbearing as the Blood Flow Empire. The humans around them heaved a sigh of relief when they saw that the demon beasts and the Flowing Emperor Alliance did not attack them. They looked forward in shock. It was not only the humans around them who were shocked. Even the Insightful Emptiness Realm experts from the Flowing Emperor Alliance who were following behind had a contemplative look on their faces when they saw this scene. What happened today was not only shocking to the Blood Flow Empire, but also to them. Looking at Feng Yuan who was standing on Wang Xian's body, everyone had a myriad of thoughts in their minds. In the future there might be a queen appearing in this Flowing Sea region. They are chasing us. It's over, it's over. No, don't kill me, don't kill me. There were more than 1,000 experts from the Blood Flow Empire who had yet to reach the Profound Void tier. How could they be faster than Wang Xian and the rest? When they saw the thousands of Insightful Emptiness Realm experts who were chasing after them, despair appeared on their faces. They begged for mercy loudly in despair. Wang Xian ignored them and continued to chase after the 600 to 700 Insightful Emptiness Realm experts who were flying ahead. However, Wang Xian did not bother with them. This did not mean that the demonic beasts of the first and second level of the Insightful Emptiness Realm and the people from the Luhuang Alliance did not bother with them. Ah! When Wang Xian flew about 2,000 meters away, he heard a scream coming from behind him. Ah, don't kill me, don't kill me. I surrender. I'm willing to join the Luhuang Alliance. No, 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 no. Very soon, in less than a minute, the first level of the Insightful Void tier, who was the slowest, was caught up. The sound of despair was heard again. The pursuit continued. Spread out, let's spread out. How can we spread out? There are thousands of Insightful Void martial artists on the other side. Even if we spread out, we will be chased by a group of Insightful Void martial artists. Blood Emperor, save me, Your Majesty, save me. After 5 minutes of pursuit, more and more insightful void martial artists died. Originally, there were 600 to 700 insightful void martial artists in Bloody Flow Empire, but now there were only over 300. At this moment, many insightful Emptiness Realm experts had collapsed. They shouted loudly at the few figures in front of them who were dozens of kilometers away. Roar! Roar! At this moment, another roar came from behind them. Lock onto the 4 insightful Emptiness Realm experts of the Blood Flow Empire. Increase your speed. Wang Xian shouted softly. His huge figure swayed and his speed increased once again. The 5 insightful Void Tier 6 powerhouses beside him also increased their speed and locked onto the 4 emperors of the Blood Flow Empire. As for the rest of the insightful Void Tier powerhouses of the Blood Flow Empire, they were beheaded by the thousands of insightful Void Tier powerhouses behind them. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. At the front, the Blood Emperor and the 3 powerhouses of the Blood Flow Empire were shouting in horror. Hearing the screams coming from behind, they gritted their teeth and looked pale. Run. As long as we enter the palace and open the array, we can fight them. One of the emperors clenched his fist and roared. His eyes were filled with madness. Blood Emperor, 3 emperors. Today you won't be able to escape. Don't even think about escaping. Sect Master Ling flew on his sword and roared with killing intent as he looked at the 4 rulers of the Blood Flow Empire who were more than 10 kilometers away. You want to kill us? Dream on. The Blood Emperor roared with a cold face. He gritted his teeth and turned into a bloody shadow. Oh my God, what a terrifying sound. A shadow flashed by. Who is that? Blood Emperor? Why did I hear that it's the Blood Emperor? I heard 3 emperors. What's going on? Oh my God, what's that 70-meter-tall creature? And those terrifying demonic beasts? While they were chasing, they arrived above a city. When a deafening sound rang out, the city guarding formation automatically activated. The enormous city guarding formation trembled under the cold shouts, as if it was about to collapse. A terrifying figure flashed past and everyone's eyes widened. The Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors are being chased. Oh my God, what is going on? Within the city, a terrifying figure flew past, and the terrifying pressure made them lie on the ground. Even the city lord felt the same. They raised their heads and muttered with shock on their faces. Chapter 1456. 1456 chased after them for 20,000 kilometers and slashed down. What's that situation? What a terrifying aura. Blood Emperor? Experts from the Blood Flow Empire? I didn't even see their shadows. The Blood Flow Emperor Alliance and the Demon Beast experts are chasing after the experts from the Blood Flow Empire? What is this situation? What happened at the Human Demon Graveyard? Oh my God, that's our Emperor. The experts of our empire are being chased. As both of them were at level 6 of the See-Through Realm, the difference in their speed was not too great. Despite the Blood Emperor and the 3 Blood Emperors fleeing for their lives, they were still only able to maintain a distance of more than 10 kilometers away from Wang Xian and the rest. For a level 6 See-Through Realm expert, this distance of more than 10 kilometers would only take about 10 seconds. One chased while the other fled. Very quickly they chased for more than an hour. Along the way they passed by many cities. When the people in the cities felt this terrifying aura and heard the sounds that came from time to time, their expressions were extremely shocked. Especially the cities below the Blood Flow Empire. When they saw the Blood Emperor and the emperors of the empire being chased, their eyes widened, filled with disbelief. The imperial city of the Blood Flow Empire is right in front. As a 7,000 to 8,000-year-old empire, there must be some defensive and offensive means in their nest. We can't let them enter the imperial palace. After chasing for almost 20,000 miles, the imperial palace of the Blood Flow Empire appeared in their line of sight. Feng Yuan stared with a frown and hurriedly said, "Let's stop them." On the left, the leader of the Demon Lin clan and a level 6 Demon Lin beast moved. In their humanoid form, their 4 limbs landed in the air and transformed into another form. Dharma Idol Raging Flames roar. Dong dong dong. They lightly roared as the flames on their bodies shot up into the sky. The flames that were 1,000 meters long were rolling around. Under their limbs, something that looked like firestorm wheels appeared. The 4 people from the Blood Flow Empire want to escape from our pursuit? Wishful thinking. The leader of the demonic scales roared. His body moved and the entire void seemed to be burning. Let me lend you a hand. Feng Yuan stood on Wang Xian's body and raised the phoenix staff in her hand. Aspect, phoenix wings soaring into the sky. With a wave of her staff, her wings landed on the two demonic beasts. Let us boost your defense. The two bloodthirsty sea monsters brandished a weapon that looked like a harpoon. A water blue light screen surrounded them. Boom, boom, boom. The void roared as they flapped their wings. The speed of the two demonic beasts increased to a terrifying level. What's that sound? What a terrifying sound. Is there an earthquake? The citizens of the Blood Flow Imperial City, who were dozens of kilometers away, felt the terrifying roar coming from the void, and their faces were filled with shock. Quick, quick, enter the Imperial Palace. The Blood Emperor sensed the terrifying power coming from behind, and he gritted his teeth and roared loudly. The other three emperors also flew with their faces flushed red. That's the Blood Emperor's voice. When the citizens in the Blood Flow Imperial City heard this voice, their eyes widened and they raised their heads to look. Don't even think about escaping. Boom boom. At this moment, the Demon Lin leader's roar was heard. Following that, a meteorite that seemed to have descended from the sky rushed towards the Imperial Palace at a terrifying speed. What is that? What's going on? At this moment, all the people in the Bloody Flow Imperial City were stunned. Get lost. The Blood Emperor's expression changed greatly when he saw the two demonic scales rushing toward them at a speed that was twice as fast as theirs. The Imperial Palace was right in front of them and they had to enter. The terrifying spear stabbed toward the two demonic scales. The other three emperors released three terrifying attacks and charged toward them. Boom, boom, boom. A loud explosion sounded from the sky. In the Imperial City, some weak humans spat out blood in shock. There were even people who died from bleeding from all 7 orifices. How terrifying. The Emperor of the Wildlands wants to kill you. You must die. After the shockwave of the explosion passed, 2 demonic scales floated above the Imperial Palace. They emitted demonic flames and their eyes were filled with killing intent. The blue light screen and wings around their bodies had completely disappeared, but they were not injured. They were completely unharmed. What? The Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors' expressions changed drastically when they saw that they were floating above the palace and blocking their path. Level 6 Void Interpretation Demonic Beasts, they actually barged into our Imperial City. 2 Level 6 Void Interpretation Demonic Beasts, kill them, kill them. We, the Blood Emperor and 3 emperors, kill 2 Level 6 Demon Beasts of the Profound Void tier. Blood Emperor, where are you going to run to? In the Imperial City, almost half of the citizens spat out blood in the aftermath of the terrifying collision. When they saw the 2 demon scales, they roared with killing intent. However, just as they thought of their words, a cold voice came from not far away. Blood Emperor, where are you going to escape to? Escape. In an instant, all the citizens of the Blood Flow Empire were stunned. Boom boom boom. At this moment they saw 4 terrifying figures flying over. A terrifying creature that was 70 meters tall, a bloodthirsty sea demon that contained palpitating energy, and a sect master of the Sky Sword sect that they were familiar with. What happened? Why is our emperor being chased and killed? The citizens of the Imperial City were dumbfounded. You want to kill us? Even if we risk our lives, we can still drag 1 or 2 of them to die with us. An emperor roared with a ferocious expression when he saw Wang Xian and the rest rushing over to surround him. Is that so? Let's give it a try then. Wang Xian revealed a cold smile on his face. He moved his body and attacked the Blood Emperor without any hesitation. Leave him to me. I'll leave the other 3 to you guys. As he spoke, his 70-meter-long body moved and the 5 elements millstone appeared above his head. Buzz. The 5 elements millstone spun and instantly reached an area of 3 kilometers. After his strength broke through, the area of the 5 elements millstone increased once again. Yes. The other 4 demonic beasts were delighted when they heard Wang Xian's words. If Wang Xian was going against 1, they could join forces to fight against 1. I will fight you to the death. Even if I have to die, I will drag you down with me. The Blood Emperor roared ferociously when he saw the 5 elements millstone in a 3-kilometer radius above Wang Xian's head. Let's try you out. My strength. A cold glint flashed across Wang Xian's eyes. His dragon claws went straight for the negotiation. Ah, I am the Blood Emperor. I will kill all my enemies. The Blood Emperor roared. He pointed the blood-red spear in his hand and attacked Wang Xian directly. Dragon Nation in the palm. 5 elements Great Mill, annihilate. Wang Xian displayed the second aspect that he had mastered after his breakthrough. Dragon Nation in the palm. In the surroundings, 2 demon scales were fighting against 1 emperor and 2 bloodthirsty sea monsters against the other. The last one, sect leader Ling, was fighting alone. However, Ao Yao surrounded him and was ready to assassinate him at any moment. Below, everyone from the Blood Flow Empire was stunned. Ah, I can't accept this. I can't believe that I, a rank 7 void interpretation expert, died here. Suddenly, an endless voice sounded from within the 20,000-kilometer-long human-demon graveyard. The voice echoed within tens of thousands of kilometers. Chapter 1457. 1457 1,457 hands covered the sky. Ah, I can't accept this. To think that I, a rank 7 profound void martial artist, would actually die here. The voice reverberated, startling a radius of tens of thousands of kilometers. A roar of unwillingness and regret. At this instant, everyone froze. Everyone, at least 1 billion people, all raised their heads in shock, looking in the direction of the Ladyboy graveyard. Their eyes widened and they flickered. A level 7 insightful Void Realm expert had actually been killed. Were there any insightful Void Realm experts in the Flowing Sea region? How could they have been killed? The Flowing Sea region began to tremble. And within the Blood Flow Imperial City, the Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors trembled, their eyes filled with terror. They had been killed, and the level 7 insightful Void Realm expert of the 3rd trading company in the world had actually been killed. How was this possible? At that level, it was already very difficult for him to be killed. He did not expect that he would still die in the hands of the King of the Wildlands. Next, it's your turn. When Wang Xian heard this desperate scream, a faint smile appeared on his face. He extended his dragon claw forward. The entire dragon claw turned into a 3-kilometer radius and met the blood-red spear of the Blood Emperor. What? When the Blood Emperor saw Wang Xian's dragon pearl turning into a radius of 3 kilometers, he was horrified. What the hell? The dragon claw was 3 kilometers in size. 3 kilometers? What kind of change was this? This was something that should not belong to this world. Bang! The Blood Emperor's blood-red long spear dissipated under the sweep of Wang Xian's dragon claw. There wasn't even a trace left behind. This? The Blood Emperor's expression changed drastically. He looked at the dragon claws that were heading toward him and hurriedly dodged to the side. Boom! The dragon claws landed on the dragon palace below. A large number of buildings were destroyed. The castles and indestructible buildings were like paper. Buzz, buzz, buzz. However, just as the Blood Emperor was dodging Wang Xian's dragon claws, the 5 elements millstone released streams of grayish destructive energy that swept towards him. Oh no! The Blood Emperor's face was gloomy. Dark black gas surged out from his body and covered his entire body. Nether Gate. He let out a low roar and a black nether gate appeared in front of him. The gate was covered with mysterious patterns. Boom, boom, boom. The gate opened, revealing an endless darkness that seemed capable of devouring everything. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The destructive energy of the 5 elements landed on the gate, emitting a special sound of collision. Crack, crack. However, soon the gate seemed to be unable to withstand the destructive attack and slowly cracked open. Oh no, what a terrifying and strange attack. The Blood Emperor's expression changed drastically. However, at this moment, the dragon claw that was also filled with destruction attacked him directly. Bang! The Blood Emperor's arm shook and his entire body was wrapped in dark red energy. He raised the long spear in his hand and blocked the dragon claw's attack. Pooh! However, in an instant, when the dragon claw landed on his body, a terrifying energy and power directly charged over. He spat out a mouthful of blood. His entire body flew backward at a terrifying speed. At this moment, streams of energy in the sky continued to attack him. How can this be? How can there be such a huge gap between us? Blood spurted out from the Blood Emperor's mouth as he stared at Wang Xian in disbelief. His expression was a little dazed. The difference was simply too great. Not to mention the 5 elements millstone that covered an area of 3 kilometers in the sky, It completely blocked the area above him. Even the terrifying dragon claws were not something he could fight against. Even if I have to die, I will bite you. The Blood Emperor's expression was a little desperate. However, soon after, his expression turned ferocious. The dark red energy made him look like a devil. Dharma idol, Blood Emperor's possession. He roared loudly. The dark red energy surged from the blood on his body like fresh blood. His body slowly turned into the size of 1,000 meters. The strongest Dharma idol. Break for me. The Blood Emperor, who was 1,000 meters in size, held a terrifying long spear in his hand and stabbed at the dragon claw. Hee, I'm not playing with you anymore. Wang Xian watched as the Blood Emperor transformed into a Dharma idol that was 1,000 meters in size. There was no change in his expression. He was too weak. He waved his dragon claw and the 5 elements grinding in the sky merged into the dragon claw. A force that seemed to be able to destroy the world clawed towards the Blood Emperor. Heaven-piercing spear. Upon seeing Wang Xian's dragon claw, the Blood Emperor let out a loud roar with an extremely embarrassed expression. He held the long spear in both of his hands and stabbed again. Bang! A body that was 1,000 meters in size was like a god in the eyes of some extraordinary martial artists. However, in the imperial city of Blood Flow, all the citizens watched as their emperor, who was in his strongest state, was grabbed by Wang Xian's claw. When the long spear landed on the dragon claw, it did not cause any substantial damage. On the contrary, the body that was 1,000 meters in size was grabbed by Wang Xian's dragon claw directly. Annihilate. Explode. Wang Xian stared at the Blood Emperor in the dragon claw. The invisible annihilating energy instantly charged towards him. No. At this moment, the Blood Emperor was in complete despair. He raised his head and let out a final sound. Boom. It exploded. Even when the Blood Emperor was unleashing his strongest attack, he was still easily crushed in front of the serious Wang Xian. The combination of the kingdom of the dragon in my palm and the great mill of the 5 elements is simply invincible. Wang Xian looked at the corpse in the dragon's claw and revealed a faint smile on his face. Ah! At this moment, another miserable scream came from the side. Wang Xian turned his head and saw a black and white cross flashing in the sky 5,000 meters away. The corpse of an emperor was falling towards the ground. No, the heavens want to destroy my bloodshed empire. The heavens want to destroy my bloodshed empire. The 2 emperors who were fighting with the demon Lin bloodthirsty sea monster roared indignantly when they saw the Blood Emperor and one of the emperors being killed. Their eyes were bloodshot. It's not that the heavens want to destroy your bloodshed empire. It's that I, Wang Xian, want to destroy your bloodshed empire. Wang Xian stared at the 2 emperors. He moved his body and attacked one of the emperors with his dragon claws. Kill them. When the demonic Lin beasts saw Wang Xian's attack, they looked at each other. They could see a trace of fear in each other's eyes. The 2 demonic beasts immediately unleashed their strongest attacks. On the other side, sect leader Ling and Ao Yao attacked the emperor who was fighting against the bloodthirsty sea monster. 4 against 1, they didn't even have the chance to escape. Fall. In less than 10 seconds, 2 miserable screams rang out. The emperor's corpse fell to the ground. Bang bang. The last 2 corpses landed heavily in front of the dragon palace. It smashed into the hearts of every citizen of the imperial city of Blood Flow. Roar. Wang Xian roared and revealed a smile. The Blood Flow Empire was destroyed. From then on, he covered the sky of the flowing sea region with one hand. The people of Blood Dynasty below looked up and found that the sun was blocked, only the horrible dragon claws. One hand covered the sky. Chapter 1458. 1458. The 1458 flowing sea region was shaken. The Blood Emperor and the 3 emperors were directly killed by the experts led by Lord Wang in the imperial city of Blood Flow. The 3rd trading company in the world, a rank 7 insightful Void Realm expert, was killed by the Emperor of the Wildlands. The Emperor of the Wildlands, an invincible emperor of rank 7 insightful Void Realm, was actually Lord Wang's subordinate. The Demon Beast clan submitted, and the Blood Flow Empire was destroyed. The entire world would belong to the Flowing Emperor Alliance as well as that Lord Wang's world. All the factions will submit to the Flowing Emperor Alliance, and the Flowing Sea region will be unified. All the humans in the Flowing Sea region were shocked. After Wang Xian and the rest killed the Blood Emperor and the three emperors, the powerhouse from the third trading company in the world let out an indignant roar. In just 2 short days, this matter swept through every corner and city in the Flowing Sea region like a hurricane. And even every town. When everyone heard this news, their eyes widened, and their faces were filled with shock. Each piece of news was more shocking than the last. The entire Luhai region had 1,600 to 700 cities, and there were 3,000 to 4,000 cities and towns, with a population of 10 to 20 billion people. Everyone's eyes widened, and they communicated with each other in shock. 5 days later, 5 shocking news spread throughout the entire Luhai region. First, the Dragon Phoenix dynasty announced that it would change its name to the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. The Dragon Phoenix dynasty would take over all the cities and territories of the Blood Flow dynasty. Anyone who resisted would die. Second, the newly established Barbarian dynasty announced that it would join the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. Other than the Demon Lin Demon Beast clan, the Sickle-tailed Snake Demon Beast clan, and the Ghost Monkey clan, which were 3 Demon Beast clans as well as more than 10 small Demon Beast clans, the rest were all citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. They lived in the Human-Demon Graveyard. Third, the Flowing Emperor Alliance still existed, with the Dragon and Phoenix Empress, Sect Masterling of the Sky Sword Sect, the Light Dragon King, and Sect Master E of the Bloodstream Sect as the main force, with the rest of the forces supporting them. Fourth, the Divine Wind Academy, the Hanhai Dynasty, and the other neutral dynasty forces joined the Flowing Emperor Alliance. Fifthly, Empress Dragon and Phoenix had decided to move the Imperial City to the tomb of the demi-humans to rebuild the glory of the ancient Bloodstream Sect. News came one after another. All the humans in the Flowing Sea region knew that the Flowing Sea region might be unified. This unification would probably happen within the next few years. However, even now, everyone knew that there was an additional person in control of the Flowing Sea region. That was Wang Xian. The Luhai region also had a real emperor, the Empress of Dragons and Phoenixes. Although the current Empress of Dragons and Phoenixes did not live up to her name, as long as Wang Xian was still alive, the Empress would be the Empress. After half a year, the entire Luhai region changed drastically. Half a year later, another piece of news that shocked the Luhai region came. The main hall of the demi-human cemetery had been breached by the Empress of Dragons and Phoenixes. The Dragon and Phoenix Empress had completely taken control of everything in the demi-human cemetery. The main hall, the Heaven's Pride stage, the training grounds, and the blood refinement grounds. Furthermore, the Dragon and Phoenix Empress had issued one decree after another. Human and demon beasts coexisted peacefully, and human and demon beasts traded. The Dragon and Phoenix Imperial City began to build on the foundation of the demi-human cemetery. After taking control of the main hall, the rest of the demi-human cemetery can also be controlled. The next development will be much smoother. However, at this moment at the top floor of the main hall of the Human-Demon Graveyard, Feng Yuan heaved a heavy sigh of relief. Empress, your development is simply too fast now. Your foundation is a little lacking. You will have to settle down for a period of time. Even I didn't expect that in the past 2 years, you had conquered the entire Luhai region. The top floor of the main hall was about 2 kilometers in size. The rich spiritual energy was only slightly weaker than the Dragon Palace. In the splendid room, an old woman and 2 old men stood in front of Feng Yuan. Each of them was like an unfathomable starry sky that made one's heart palpitate. I have to thank Wang Xian for this. If it wasn't for him, I would still be governing a small country in a city. Feng Yuan smiled and looked at Wang Xian, who was sitting at the side. Her eyes were filled with smiles. The old lady looked over and her eyes were filled with shock. Wang Xian naturally knew that when they met 2 years ago, the other party's strength was not even at the insightful void stage. However, in such a short period of time, the other party's strength was even stronger than their empress. Their empress was equivalent to being reborn and cultivating again. Her cultivation speed was more than 10 times faster than those peerless heaven's favorites. The old lady never expected that he could help the Empress dominate the Flowing Sea region in such a short period of time. Wang Xian smiled at the side and didn't say anything. He was in a good mood as he checked the information in his interspatial ring. But now my strength is still too weak. It will take some time for me to completely unify the Flowing Sea region. Moreover, just as you said, I need to settle down for a while. Feng Yuan frowned slowly and said in deep thought. Her strength could not keep up with Wang Xian's development speed. This time, it was Wang Xian who forcefully helped the Dragon Phoenix Empire to advance to the Dragon Phoenix Empire. His strength was still at level 4 of the See-Through Realm. He could fight against level 5 of the See-Through Realm. However, just like the Blood Flow Empire, the Blood Emperor's strength had to reach level 6 of the See-Through Realm. It was also because of her weak strength that the Flowing Emperor Alliance did not disband. Only when she reached level 5 of the Profound Void tier, or even level 6 of the Profound Void tier, would she be able to directly take over the Flowing Emperor Alliance. Only then would the Light Dragon King and Sect Master Ling be completely convinced. Back then, when the Phoenix Empire was upgraded to the Empire by her, it took a whole 1,000 years. Even so, such a rapid upgrade to the Empire still shocked the entire continent. Feng Yuan was also known as the #1 Empress throughout the ages. However, when she upgraded the Empire to the Empire, it took her 200 years. Now it was only 2 years. Many things could not keep up. This time, she was able to control the main hall because she called the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan over. Otherwise, with her strength, she would not be able to control it at all. Feng Yuan, go to the dragon pool and try. At this moment, Wang Xian, who was sitting at the side, suddenly spoke to her. Enter the dragon pool? Feng Yuan was slightly stunned before a contemplative look appeared on her face. Speaking of which, she had absorbed energy from the dragon pool and was reborn. She could be considered a member of the Dragon Palace. As long as the members of the Dragon Palace had sufficient dragon blood, they would be able to directly increase their levels in the dragon pool. She only found out about this not too long ago. However, she didn't think about it at that time. I'll give it a try. Feng Yuan's eyes flickered. Once her strength was able to increase tremendously, it would be easier for her to completely control the Flowing Sea region. How's the situation at the third trading company in the world? The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop? Wang Xian asked Feng Yuan again. It has been settled. Through the Firelark clan, we used some methods to make them give up on the Flowing Sea region completely. Feng Yuan said to Wang Xian. That's good. I'm going back to the Dragon Palace to rest. As Wang Xian spoke, he stood up and walked out. Chapter 1459. 1459 had another breakthrough. Feng Yuan shook her head when she saw Wang Xian leaving. Rest? You are resting every day. She was a little envious of Wang Xian, Guan Shuqing and the other girls. They didn't have to do anything all day long. They could cultivate, eat, drink, play and be free. Unlike her, she was extremely busy all day long. Wang Xian didn't know what Feng Yuan was thinking. He walked out with an excited look on his face. There was a huge amount of resources in the interspatial ring in his hand. The main hall was completely under his control. There were some corpses of ferocious beasts and extremely precious medicinal pills in the main hall. All these resources added together with the resources that the Dragon Palace had obtained recently were enough for him to improve his strength. Xiao Xian. Just as he walked out of the main hall, a voice suddenly sounded. Wang Xian was slightly stunned. He looked over and saw Ling Jin'er, who was dressed in white, looking at him with a face full of joy as she walked towards him. In her eyes, she couldn't hide her admiration. Ling Jin'er. Wang Xian looked at her as she walked over with an awkward expression on his face. After the main hall was completely under control, the base of the Luhuang Alliance was also placed in the main hall. Recently, Ling Jin'er had been coming to look for him frequently. Everyone could see the admiration in her eyes. As the saying goes, a woman chasing a man is separated by a layer of gauze. Every day she would be chased by an extremely beautiful girl. It was a lie for Wang Xian to say that he was not tempted. Here, this is the dessert that I just learned how to make yesterday. Try it and see if it tastes good. Ling Jin'er took out an exquisite box with a happy expression and handed it to him. All right, Ling Jin'er, you don't have to give me these. Wang Xian looked at the things that were handed over and smiled awkwardly. Ling Jin'er treated him very well. He could tell that she treated him very well. Xiao Xian, why didn't you tell us when you were going back? At this moment, the voices of Guan Shuqing and the other girls could be heard from behind. Upon hearing their voices, Ling Jin'er retreated a little cautiously and kept a distance away from Wang Xian. Ahem, I didn't know that you guys were also in the main hall. Wang Xian looked at the few girls and said with a smile. Humph, you're fooling around again. Guan Shuqing rolled her eyes at him and pouted. The other few girls also had hostile looks. Wang Xian was speechless and didn't say anything. In the past half a year he finally managed to get a group of girls to accept Zhang Fengying and live the life of Wei Xiaobao, 7 wives. However, because of this, a few of the girls stared at him sternly and didn't want to flirt with him anymore. This caused a group of girls to pay close attention to him. Are you guys going back to the Dragon Palace? Shall we go back together? Wang Xian quickly changed the topic and said to them. Let's go back. Let's go back together then. A few of the girls nodded their heads. Ling Jin, I still have some matters to attend to, so I'll go back first. Thank you for the delicious food. Wang Xian waved his hand as he spoke to Ling Jin. Ling Jin, pursed her lips and nodded with a smile on her face. She stared blankly at Wang Xian and the rest as they turned around and left. However, very soon, she clenched her fist and stabbed it into her palm, causing a trickle of blood to flow out. Xiaoxian, are you still lacking a maid? Wang Xian, who was walking in front, suddenly heard Ling Jin's voice from behind. His body stiffened. Is there still a need for a maid? Wang Xian remembered that when he was in the cemetery of demi-humans and Ling Jin confessed to him for the first time, he said, if you want to follow me, that's fine too. Be a maid, serve tea, pour water, wash clothes, cook and wash your feet. No. This is not lacking. Wang Xian felt a few cold gazes from beside him. He quickly shook his head, turned around and left. Ling Jin, who was standing at the back, had even more strength in her hands. Drops of blood fell to the ground. She looked at Wang Xian's figure with an extremely dejected gaze. If I can't be with you, what's the meaning of this? Heartless sword path. Forget about love. Forget about love. She mumbled as a hint of deathly gray slowly appeared in her eyes. In this deathly gray color, an extremely cold golden small sword was flashing. Back then, not only did she obtain a golden origin, but she also obtained a sword Dao inheritance that she thought was a forbidden technique. Back then, when she saw this sword Dao inheritance, she threw it into her interspatial ring. This was because no one knew how to cultivate, and no one would believe that there was such a way to cultivate sword Dao. The true heartless sword Dao, killing sword Dao. I have to say Ling Jin's desserts are really delicious. If she didn't like Xiaoxian, we would have been friends with her. It's pretty good. It's much better than my desserts. Xiaoxian, try it. Ling Jin gave it to you. Wang Xian and the group of girls flew toward the Dragon Palace. The few girls took the desserts skillfully. It was obviously not the first time. The few girls had a good impression of Ling Jin, however she was a love rival. Naturally, they didn't want to share Wang Xian with others. There were already enough people. Hee, let me try it too. Wang Xian smiled and ate some. It wasn't the first time he had tasted it. The taste was still as delicious as before. The current Dragon Palace had been relocated to the sea area not far from the main hall. That place used to be the lair of the blood barbarian demonic beasts. Now the Dragon Palace had been relocated there. When they entered the Dragon Palace, they could clearly see that there was a lot of vitality in the entire Dragon Palace. Compared to before, the Dragon Palace now had a tremendous change. First of all, the Dragon Palace no longer had more than 6,000 members, but had more than 16,000 members, an increase of 10,000 members. The Demon Lin Demon Beast clan had all joined the Dragon Palace, along with the Sickle-Tailed Snake clan, the Ghost Monkey clan, and a few other Demon Beast clans. The Demon Lin Demon Beast clan had over 6,000 demon beasts, and the remaining 4,000. These were all demon beasts that had passed the Dragon Gate. The remaining demon beasts, including the Bloodthirsty Sea Demon Beast clan, hadn't passed the Dragon Palace. The Demon Lin Demon Beast clan belonged to the Mount of the Dragon Palace. A mount didn't mean that their status in the Dragon Palace was low. On the contrary, their status was very high. If they wanted to make a demon beast their mount, the other members of the Dragon Palace had to show their strength. Without strength, the Demon Qilin wouldn't let anyone ride it. The Sickle-Tailed Snake clan had joined the special department of the Dragon Palace, the poison-making department. The Ghost Monkey passed through the Dragon Pond and turned into the Demon Monkey of the Demon War department. As for the rest, they were filled with the Dragon Spur department, the Dragon Guard department, the Thunder department and the Golden Swordfish clan. These demonic beasts were not weak. After killing the Blood Flow Empire and killing the surrounding beasts, the weakest members of the Dragon Palace were at least at Transcendent Level 9. Among them there were 3,000 at the Profound Void Realm. It was not an exaggeration to say that the Dragon Palace's power could sweep through all the forces in the Luhai region, including the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Lu Huang Alliance. It looked very comical. The dragon head and the world aspect were the same. The dragon head had expanded by a few thousand meters while the body was still 80 meters long. Wasn't that like a tadpole? It seems like I can only look normal after I transform my entire body aspect. Wang Xian thought to himself. His body moved and returned to his human form. Xiao Xian, congratulations on your improvement. Husband, now you have the strength of a 7th level void interpretation. A group of girls ran over with faces full of joy and asked happily. His strength should be about the same as Ao Xingmu's. Wang Xian nodded with a smile. Ao Xingmu's strength was definitely the most terrifying existence among the 7th level void interpretation. Now Wang Xian was on par with him. Next, all of you need to improve your cultivation. Also, the Dragon Palace needs to consolidate their strength. Wang Xian said to them. The Dragon Palace had added about 10,000 new members. Next, they needed to get used to each other and undergo training. Moreover, they were already invincible in the Luhai region. Next, they would enter the stage of normal development. Alright, but we need to call Sister Feng Wan to celebrate. Guan Shuqing and the rest of them said happily. Don't invite Feng Wan. She has a lot of things to do. Let's go celebrate. As Wang Xian spoke, his gaze swept across the 6 girls and his eyes lit up. This was especially so for Zhang Fengying. Although the girls had accepted her, they had never slept together before. Now that everything had been settled, it was time to start clapping for love. When he thought of Zhang Fengying's figure that was even hotter than that of a Jia, he felt extremely excited. Charge. For 2 days in a row, Wang Xian once again lived a life that was as happy as the heavens. Boom. 2 days later, a muffled sound suddenly rang in the Dragon Palace. A thick flame filled the entire Dragon Palace. Ding. Dragon seed harvested, Fire Phoenix Dragon seed. At this moment, the voice of the system suddenly rang out in Wang Xian's mind. What's going on? Wang Xian was slightly shocked. He immediately flew out of the bedroom and headed towards the dragon pool. Chirp, chirp. When he looked into the dragon pool, he revealed a surprised expression. A huge fire phoenix was slowly circling above the dragon pool. The fire phoenix's gaze was fixed on one of the divine dragons on the 9 dragon pillars. Wang Xian looked over and revealed a surprised expression. Initially, there were 9 divine dragons that looked exactly the same. Now, the divine dragon that the fire phoenix was staring at was burning with flames all over its body. It had completely turned into a fire divine dragon. It's because of the indestructible wood. The indestructible wood is the wood of origin fire. The Dragon Palace extracted the blood of the phoenix and gave birth to a new dragon seed, the Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed. Wang Xian had some understanding in his heart and a hint of excitement appeared in his eyes. The Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed was definitely not weaker than the Fire Gold Dragon Seed, the Thorny Dragon Seed and the Starwood Dragon Seed. This is a big win. Moreover, the phoenix can really increase her strength in the dragon pool. Her level has already reached the 5th level of the see-through void. Wang Xian stared at the gigantic fire phoenix and revealed a faint smile. Chirp chirp. At this moment, the fire phoenix turned its head and shouted at Wang Xian. Its body moved and transformed into a human form. Feng Wan's eyes were filled with excitement and shock. I actually turned my bloodline back into a fire phoenix? Back then, when I was in the realm of longevity, I could only transform into the form of a fire phoenix. Furthermore, I could only maintain it for 10 minutes. Now I can change my form freely. After I transform into a fire phoenix, I can fight 2 levels higher and fight against a powerhouse at the 7th level of the profound void stage. She walked towards Wang Xian excitedly. Oh, isn't that great? Wang Xian smiled at her. I still have some resources here. I'll go and upgrade 1 more level. Unfortunately, before my strength reaches the realm of longevity, I can't reveal my phoenix form as I please. Chapter 1461. 1461 will give my heart to you. Wang Xian was slightly speechless as he watched Feng Wan enter the dragon pool once again. She would be stronger than him if she were to increase her level 1 more time. After this upgrade, it won't be long before the Luhai region is completely under the control of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. A smile appeared on his face as he looked at Feng Wan's figure. What happened, little Xian? At this moment, a group of girls walked over and asked curiously. Nothing much. Feng Wan's level has broken through. Wang Xian shook his head and looked at the fire divine dragon that was coiled on the pillar at the dragon pond. Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed. I wonder if it can allow the demon Qilin clan to transform it. Wang Xian thought to himself. Dragon King Miss Ling Jin asked Duan Jinming to send something over. She said that she must give it to you. At this moment, Prime Minister Jiui was holding an exquisite box in his hand. He walked over and spoke to Wang Xian respectfully. Ling Jin asked him to send it over? Wang Xian was slightly stunned. He took the box with a stunned expression. Ling Jin must have missed the handsome Wang Xian whom she hasn't seen for 2 days. She might have specially made some delicacies for you and sent it over. A few girls looked over and rolled their eyes at Wang Xian. How could that be? Wang Xian shook his head. This was not an explanation. Based on his understanding of Ling Jin she would not do such a thing. Open it and let us see what it is. Could it be a love letter? A few girls gathered around curiously and asked Wang Xian. Wang Xian shook his head slightly and slowly opened the box. However, the moment the box was opened, his expression changed drastically. He felt his scalp tingling and stared at the thing inside in disbelief. What is it? A few girls saw that Wang Xian was stunned and leaned over. This. What is this? However, when Guan Shuqing and the rest saw the item inside, their faces turned pale instantly. Heart. Wang Xian's expression changed as he stared at the beating heart. His expression kept changing. A heart, a beating human heart. Beside the heart there was a note. Wang Xian looked at this thing and felt his scalp tingling. Why did Ling Jian give him a heart? Furthermore, whose heart was this? Phew. Wang Xian took a deep breath and took the note from the box. He then opened it. I am my heart. This is for you, Xiao Xian. I love you. I know you don't love me, but I love you just like a beating heart. You don't have to worry. I'm not dead and I'm not in any danger. However, from today onwards, I no longer have a heart. I want to start another life. Goodbye. 4 lines of words. It was a very simple word. Fuck. When Wang Xian read the 4 lines of words, he could not help but curse. His expression was extremely ugly. What's wrong, Xiao Xian? When the group of girls saw Wang Xian's expression, they revealed anxious expressions. It had been a very, very long time since they saw Wang Xian so angry and embarrassed. The last time, Guan Shuqing was severely injured and on the verge of death. The last time Xiaoyu was severely injured. A few girls looked at him worriedly. I really didn't expect her to be so extreme. Wang Xian handed the note in his hand to them with an embarrassed expression. He was breathing heavily as he spoke. This, how could Ling Jian how could a person without a heart? When the few girls saw the words on it, their faces turned pale. Give my heart to you. Just thinking about it made them feel a little terrified. Wang Xian came to the seat of the Dragon King's palace with a gloomy face. He sat on the dragon chair and stared at the beating heart with an expressionless face. It was very strange that the heart was still beating. Without a heart, it was impossible for a person to survive unless he had reached the realm of longevity. Obviously, Ling Jian did not have the ability to do so. However, her heart was indeed beating. What the fuck? Wang Xian's face turned darker and darker when he recalled his condition when he met Ling Jian. Speaking of which, Ling Jian was an extreme person and had a weird personality since her father chased her out of the house after her mother's death. It was only after she confessed to Wang Xian and sect leader Ling brought her back to the sect that her personality improved a little. Especially after he said that she was too cold and needed to be more lively, her character improved a lot. However, there was one thing that could not be concealed. Ling Jian had not recovered from the trauma of her childhood. If Wang Xian accepted her, she might have recovered. However, she had not accepted him for the past half a year. It ignited her previous emotions. I'll go to sect leader Ling's place. Wang Xian stood up and said to the few girls as he flew towards the main hall. The few girls exchanged glances and followed behind him immediately. The main hall was only about 100 kilometers away from here. With his speed he arrived very quickly. Sect leader Ling. Before Wang Xian arrived at the main hall, he saw sect leader Ling leading his men and flying into the distance with a gloomy expression. He moved and appeared in front of them. "Brother Wang Xian, have you seen my daughter? Have you seen her?" Sect leader Ling asked anxiously when he saw Wang Xian. This was a huge loss of composure for the big shots in the Luhai region. "Sect leader Ling, I received a letter from Ling Jian, so I rushed over immediately to ask." Wang Xian didn't dare to tell him what was on his mind. He asked with a solemn face. "She said that she wants to cultivate the heartless sword principle. She wants to leave this place and start a new life. If I forget about her daughter, she will also forget about me. The heartless sword principle." Sect leader Ling said in a fluster. "The heartless sword principle? What heartless sword principle?" Wang Xian was slightly stunned and asked. He had heard of the heartless sword principle when he was on Earth. Ao Jin had also cultivated the heartless sword principle back then. It's this. This is what Jin obtained by chance in the demi-human graveyard back then. Other than the heartless sword principle, there was also a terrifying golden glow. Jin said that the golden glow was the gold of origin and the gold of origin had been absorbed. She had never cultivated this heartless sword principle. After she threw this heartless sword principle to me, I took a look and threw it into my interspatial ring. As sect leader Ling spoke, she passed a palm-sized rock to Wang Xian. Wang Xian took it and immediately felt a terrifying sword intent coming from it. Following that, a resolution was transmitted. Heartless sword principle, the number 1 killing sword in the universe. After mastering it, you will reach the pinnacle of power. No one in the 9 heavens can match you. The heartless sword principle starts from forgetting one's feelings. Dig out your own heart and forge your sword heart. Your sword heart is. A resolution surfaced in Wang Xian's mind, causing him to take a deep breath. Use all the powers of the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Lu Huang Alliance to search for it. Wang Xian said with an embarrassed expression. Chapter 1462. 1462 headed to the vast region. Prime Minister Gui, have you found her? 4 days later, Wang Xian and a group of girls were sitting in the Dragon King's palace. When they saw Prime Minister Gui, a few girls immediately stood up and asked hurriedly. "Dragon King, Dragon Queen, we have used the entire Dragon Phoenix Empire, Lu Huang Alliance and the strength of our Dragon Palace, but we still haven't found Miss Ling Jian. However, someone said that they seem to have seen this figure flying towards the east." Prime Minister Gui reported to Wang Xian and the rest. "The east?" Wang Xian frowned slightly. "It's the Dragon King. The North Flowing Sea, which is 300,000 kilometers away from the east, is a vast area. With our current search efforts, Miss Ling Jian is either in the wilderness or heading towards the vast area." Prime Minister Gui continued to speak to Wang Xian. "The vast area of the sea is an area close to the 9 Gods Empire. The area is about 10 times larger than the Flowing Sea area." The vast area of the sea. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. He was naturally very clear about the vast area of the sea. If the Flowing Sea area was equivalent to a city, then the vast area of the sea was equivalent to a province. And those empires were equivalent to a huge country. In the supernatural continent there were 5 empires. There were about 20 territories of the vast sea region. And there were about 40 to 50 places like the Flowing Sea region. The 3 divisions, together with the Ocean region and Dragon Island, formed a huge supernatural continent. With Wang Xian's current energy in the Flowing Sea region, it was impossible to not find someone unless the person stayed in the wilderness or died. Otherwise, it was impossible for him to not be able to find the person. If he couldn't find the person, he would have to leave this region. It's very likely that Sister Ling Jian'er has already left the Luhai region and headed for the vast region. Zhang Fengying said with a frown. "This is all our fault. If we had treated her better back then, perhaps." A few girls said with some self-blame. "This matter is not your fault. Everyone has their own personality. Ling Jian'er's personality is different from yours." Wang Xian shook his head and felt a little helpless. It was impossible to say that he did not blame himself. Looking at a girl who liked him and often cooked food for him, she dug her heart out because of his rejection. Other than feeling a little numb, he also felt a little guilty. This was especially so for a guy like Wang Xian who was a philanthropist. If he did not find Ling Jian'er, he might not feel well for the rest of his life. Dragon King. At this moment, Ao Jian led a group of more than 10 subordinates and walked in. They bowed to Wang Xian. How is it? Wang Xian asked Ao Jian and the rest. Dragon King, the Heartless Sword Principle can indeed be cultivated. If I'm not wrong, this is the real Heartless Sword Principle. It is completely incomparable to the superficial level on Earth. To cultivate the Emotionless Sword Principle, one must dig out the heart and recultivate the sword heart. After cultivating the sword heart, one must begin to train the sword heart, making the sword heart have feelings and making the sword heart emotionless. Finally, one can freely withdraw and release the sword heart. That is the great success of the Emotionless Sword Principle. However, to dig out one's own heart, one must first forget the feelings and condense the embryo of the sword heart. Otherwise, if the embryo is not condensed, digging out the heart will cause one to die instantly. It is very difficult to condense a sword heart embryo without emotions. The mortality rate is very high. Even for our Golden Swordfish clan, 1 out of 10 clansmen who cultivate will die. Ao Jian reported to Wang Xian. Wang Xian brought over the cultivation method of the Heartless Sword Principle. No one dared to cultivate this thing. He passed the Heartless Sword Principle to Ao Jian and showed it to him. What he didn't expect was that Ao Jian actually allowed people to cultivate it. Fortunately, with the soul returning wood, the dead clansmen could be resurrected. Can they cultivate it? How is the effect of their cultivation? Wang Xian immediately stood up and asked. It can greatly increase their combat strength. If they succeed, they can easily fight 2 levels above them. Ao Jian said with a solemn face, but it's very difficult to succeed. The mortality rate is extremely high. Can you Golden Swordfish tribe continue to cultivate? Wang Xian asked Ao Jian. Golden Swordfish tribe were born swordsmen. Furthermore, they didn't have much emotions. Perhaps they could really cultivate it. We can cultivate it. If we can cultivate it in the entire Dragon Palace, perhaps only the leader of Ao demons can fight us. Ao Jian's face revealed a strong sense of confidence as he said proudly. You can control the matters of cultivation. Don't suffer too many casualties. Wang Xian said to Ao Jian. Yes, Dragon King. These are Ao Jian's hearts. The other 9 are the hearts of the Golden Swordfish that have successfully cultivated it. The hearts are the fatal weakness of the cultivators of the Heartless Sword Principle before they have successfully cultivated it. Once the hearts are crushed, we will die. Furthermore, the process of forgetting our feelings while cultivating the Heartless Sword Principle may affect our loyalty. Dragon King, you can suppress us by holding our hearts. As Ao Jian spoke, he handed over the hearts one by one. Wang Xian looked over and nodded slowly. Hold the hearts. Within a radius of dozens of kilometers, the Dragon King can sense our presence. If you want to find Miss Ling Jianer, you just need to hold the hearts and you will be able to sense us within a radius of dozens of kilometers. Ao Jian continued to report to Wang Xian. Okay. Wang Xian nodded. All of you can go and cultivate. It's the Dragon King. Wang Xian kept the hearts of Ao Jian and the rest. He looked at Ling Jianar's heart and shook his head slowly. Xiao Xian, are you going to the vast region to look for Ling Jianar? Guan Shuqing and the other girls looked at Wang Xian. If you really go, we will support you. The few girls also knew that Wang Xian valued friendship. When Guan Shuqing's life and death were still unknown, he was so angry that he almost wiped out the entire Jianghu. Although Ling Jianer could not be compared to Guan Shuqing, it was only right for him to retrieve her. Let's wait for a while. If he really goes to the vast area, I won't know how to search for him for a while. I'll make some preparations during this period of time. Wang Xian rubbed the space between his eyebrows and said, Dragon King, the Demon Qilin clan is preparing to evolve into the Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed in the Dragon Pool. Do you want to go over and take a look? Prime Minister Gue, who was standing below, asked Wang Xian respectfully. All right, I'll go and take a look. Wang Xian nodded his head and flew towards the Dragon Pool. Judging from the name of the Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed, one could tell that it was a top-notch dragon seed. One by one, the Demon Lin entered the Dragon Pool and rapidly transformed, while 2 Demon Lin were already standing beside the Dragon Pool. The Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed did not allow the Demon Lin to directly evolve into a phoenix. The Dragon Seed was still primarily a dragon. It was very different from the Phoenix true form of the Phoenix One. After the Demon Lin clan transformed into the Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed, 2 enormous wings grew out of their backs. Their entire body looked more agile and vigorous. Their bodies were covered by a group of fiery red wings, making them look extremely noble. Chapter 1463. 1463 headed to the vast sea region. After the Demon Lin clan transformed into the Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed, their strength once again received a powerful increase. The Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed couldn't be considered a peak dragon seed. It was only a dragon seed derived from endless wood and Phoenix Luan's blood. In terms of level, it was equivalent to the Light Thorn Dragon Seed. However, for the current Fire Phoenix Dragon Seed clan, this could already be considered a huge increase. From being able to fight against opponents 1 level higher than them to being able to kill opponents 1 level higher than them, this was a huge improvement. After the Flowing Sea region was completely controlled, the Dragon Palace's development was 7 or 8 times better than before. Everything was developing in a good direction. There were more than 16,000 members of the Dragon Palace. There were 1,500 members of the Demon War Department. 1,000 members of the Dragon Guard Department. 1,000 members of the Thunder Department. 1,500 members of the Starwood War Department. 4,000 members on mounts. 1,000 members of the Dragon Spur Department. 1,000 members of the Heavenly Eye Arrow Department. 500 members of the Dolphin Clan. 1,000 members of the Golden Swordfish of the Dragon Guard Department. 1,000 members of the Poison-Making Department of the Ba Chi Clan. Over 2,000 members of the Firehammer Clan's Forging Department. The special AO crab had tens of thousands of little AO crabs in its body, along with the rest of the civil officials and members who took care of the Dragon Palace. There were a total of over 16,000 members. Although the Dragon Palace was getting stronger and stronger, Wang Xian couldn't be happy because of Ling Jianyar's matter. In the next few days, another shocking incident happened in the Luhai region. The Lu Huang Alliance was disbanded, and all the members joined the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Apart from the ancient Blood Flow sect, the Dragon Phoenix Empire once again unified the forces in the Luhai region. There were nearly 2,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts in the entire Dragon Phoenix Empire. After the Dragon Phoenix Empire was unified, the sect master of the Sky Sword sect gave up his position and went to the vast region alone to begin the journey to find his daughter. Time passed day by day and the Dragon Palace also entered the proper order. The daily income of the Firehammer clan could be exchanged for resources, which could allow 2 members of the Dragon Palace to reach the insightful Void Realm. Every day the strength of the Dragon Palace was increasing. They fought in the Dragon Palace and cultivated in the Dragon Cave. They searched for Ling Jianyar in the Flowing Sea region without stopping. Unfortunately, after a month there was still no news. Xiao Xian, have you decided to go to the vast region? A month later, in the Dragon Palace, a group of girls looked at him with reluctance and asked. Yes. If I don't go now, I will go there in the future. Firstly, it's to find Ling Jianyar. Secondly, it's to take a look at the vast region. One day the Dragon Palace will conquer that sea region. Wang Xian looked at the group of girls and said with a smile. Be careful then. A few girls looked at him and reminded him. Don't worry, nothing will happen to me. Wang Xian smiled and looked at the front of the hall. In the Dragon King Hall, 200 strange demons and 200 golden swordfish were standing there. This time we are going to the vast area. We will occupy a place and make preparations for the future of the Dragon Palace. All of you will follow me. As Wang Xian spoke to them, his body moved and he flew out of the Dragon Palace. 200 strange demons and 200 golden swordfish immediately followed behind and flew out. Guan Shuqing and the rest followed behind to send them off. There's no need for all of you to send us off. You can come over when things settle down over there. Wang Xian said to the group of girls. The 7 girls, including Xiao Yu, nodded their heads vigorously. Wang Xian, be careful. There are many more experts in the vast area than in the Luhai region. At this moment, Feng Luan, who came over after hearing the news, reminded him when she saw him leading his men to leave. Don't worry. I'll go to the vast area to explore first. Wang Xian said to Feng Luan. All right. In 2 to 3 years at most, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire will enter the vast area. Feng Luan nodded her head heavily at him. The entire tomb of the demi-human was already under control, and many places could be opened directly. This could allow some powerhouses to speed up their cultivation speed. Moreover, with her guidance she could quickly nurture a batch of powerhouses. In addition, she could consume resources to directly raise her level in the dragon pool. Before long she would reach the peak of the 7th, 8th, or even the see-through realm. Okay. Wang Xian nodded his head and waved his hand at the group. His body moved and he flew into the distance. Behind him, other than the golden swordfish and the strange demon, there were also 2 civil officials from the Dragon Palace. The left and right hands of Prime Minister Gue were here to set up a vast area. The 200 golden swordfish had no emotions on their faces. They were like emotionless machines. All of them had cultivated the heartless sword principle. They had already condensed their sword hearts and entered the state of forgetting emotions. Among them, 190 were at the 2nd level of the Void Interpretation Realm, 5 were at the 3rd level of the Void Interpretation Realm, 4 were at the 4th level of the Void Interpretation Realm, and Ao Jian was at the 5th level of the Void Interpretation Realm. It was the same for Strange Demon. However, Ao Demon was at the 5th level of the Void Interpretation Realm and was able to assassinate someone at the 7th level of the Void Interpretation Realm. After Wang Xian's understanding of the vast region during this period of time, this force of theirs was considered a second-rate force in the vast region. A third-rate force was equivalent to the Blood Flow Empire in the past. As for a first-rate force, it had to have an expert at the 8th level of the see-through realm to oversee it. As for a super force, it had to have an expert at the 9th level of the see-through realm to oversee it. There are only 3 super forces in the entire vast region: the Wuxia Empire, the Solipsistic Sect, and the Southern Royal Family. He Yuan belongs to the He clan. The He clan is the strongest existence among the first-rate forces below the 3 super forces. After they have stabilized their footing in the vast sea area, we will look for He Yuan. With the ability of the He clan in the vast sea area, we should be able to find Ling Jian, faster. Wang Xian thought to himself. He thought of He Yuan, who was located in the vast sea area, the genius beast tamer. The group of them flew along the sea and passed through a canyon that was only 5 kilometers wide. From the sea of the flowing sea area, they entered the northern flowing sea. After passing through the north flowing sea, they would arrive at the vast sea region. The north flowing sea was extremely vast. If they wanted to pass through the north flowing sea, they would need to fly a distance of 300,000 kilometers. This was equivalent to flying from the easternmost part of the flowing sea region to the westernmost part. 300,000 kilometers. Even with Wang Xian's speed, it would take a few days. It would take at least more than 10 days to bring along the golden swordfish and the rest. After flying to the north flowing sea, Wang Xian looked at the endless ocean in front of him. With a move of his body, he entered the sea directly. Their speed in the water was much faster than in the sky. There were all kinds of ferocious beasts at the bottom of the sea. Some of them were at the 5th or 6th level of the Void Interpretation Realm. Along the way, as long as the ferocious beasts were not courting death, Wang Xian did not have the time to kill them. Sensing the extremely terrifying aura, Wang Xian and the rest took the initiative to take a detour. The deep sea area reached a depth of 40,000 to 50,000 meters. After traveling in the sea for more than 10 days, the sea area became shallow. Wang Xian looked at a special ship in the sky. He knew that the vast area was approaching. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.